Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Shooting the Shelf here on Just Shelve It. I am Jesse Arnold. With me, as always, is my man bun toting companion and co-host Curtis Ackerman, who is frozen on my screen, but there he is. Um, how you doing tonight, Curtis?
I'm doing excellent.
Fantastic. We'll try to keep this a really short show because I know Curtis really wants to get back to playing Baldur's Gate. So, no. Yes. Oh, hey, look, it's our very first member of the channel, Joe Gonzalez, with a I don't know what that little icon is on my screen, but welcome, Joe.
Yeah, I saw his name show up in green. I was like, hey, look at that. I think it's an S. I think it's like a little shelfie.
Yeah. So thank you, Joe, for joining the page. That's really cool. We hit 500 last week, and have activated some features on the channel and everything. So, real quick shout out to everyone in the chat. Thank you all so much for being here. Airbrushing is not cheating, and
it kind of is, though.
I mean, hey, it's not like it's AI. Before we start into a battle royale between Curtis and I's opinions on things, let's give a warm digital round of welcome applause. I just said it all.
That everything.
To our
Absolutely.
guest tonight, the man behind DBlake Makes, Damion Blake. Welcome to the shelf. How are you doing tonight?
What's going on, A&A? Thanks for having me, guys. Really appreciate it. I couldn't get my beard any longer for tonight. I really tried. I was using oils and lotions, but and I couldn't do the man bun thing. Couldn't do a thing with my hair, but I still appreciate you guys having me here.
No problem.
Well, thanks for joining us tonight. We'll get into our chat with you after we go through our shelf selections. Feel free to jump in and comment on any of the stuff we have up if anything strikes your fancy. Take it away, Curtis.
All right, here we go. First one is mine. This is from Amusing King. Just a really cool Darth Maul. I love he did one of the behind the scenes kind of thing. And I love the pose. I love the dust and rocks kind of kicking up, and then the little Photoshop with the lightsaber, making it look all cool and stuff. So, this is just, we've talked about it before with the toy photography, but anytime you can kind of make it look like it's from a movie, I'm really digging it. And that's kind of what I got from this one. So.
Excellent. Yeah, that's really cool. I think it was Amuse King. I saw one today where he had one with Maul with Vader. I think it was them. Yeah, but this is really cool. It's very like mid-scene freeze frame. I love it.
Yeah.
Very minimum editing as well. It's a lot of practical effects with the dust blowing up and stuff. Obviously the glow of the lightsaber, but
yeah,
it's really sick. Really sick.
Yeah, I was a fan. And then the next one is Jesse's.
This is from Lawless Studios on Instagram. This one just really jumped out at me. I don't know what specifically. It feels like it was triggering some sort of memory, not like from a movie or something, not like a personal experience, but just this kind of like canyon with like the ruined wall and just Black Panther kind of really small but central focus up there on top. I just thought was really cool. And the way the sun's back behind the trees. I just thought this was really cool and excellent dio work on the dio as well.
Can't even tell if it's a dio or if he's actually using outside and just brought some pieces out there too. Like if those trees in the background, he just positioned everything so perfectly to get that sunspot.
Yeah.
When you can't tell the difference, that's a master of their art.
So you did not have a personal experience where Black Panther was hunting you down and perched up above you?
No, I didn't.
Okay,
Curtis.
Gotcha. I just wanted to make sure.
Wakanda's not a real country in Africa.
Gotcha. That we know of. But I mean, that's the way they'd want to keep it, right?
Sure.
No, this is a great shot. I do love the the mix between, the dial work and the, the actual nature parts. The way that he's perched up there at the top, like the pose of him kind of squatting down and looking down is really cool. And then I do love the, like, how it's perfectly timed to where that sun is right behind him. So yeah, this is really cool. I like it.
Yes.
This is one that we've had on here a few times, is JCM Custom Paints. I mean, the guy just does phenomenal work. I don't know that anybody does better, like, faces on toys. So here was just a couple I saw this week, new ones that he did. He did this Catwoman one and this Wolverine. And I just love his work on this stuff. He takes these things and makes them so realistic looking. I know he's got quite a few on his Instagram as well that he'll take, like factory heads, like from Hasbro and stuff like that, and repaint them and make them look more realistic. But these just look really cool. So I wanted to throw these on here. I can't sing his praises enough. And, we've talked about it before too, but if you're kind of newer to painting, or even if you're just trying to improve some of your flesh tones, he's got some great tutorials on his Instagram as well. So
that's always fun. Yeah, these are killer. It just, I mean, not to be crude, but yeah, they look like real people's heads that he somehow shrunk down and put on a stick. Like, those are crazy good. Very impressive.
All right. And this one is yours.
So Area 42 Earth Station, aka SIG, we had on a couple weeks ago.
Friend of the show.
This shot. Yep. They just really thought this shot was cool. Seeing all these, I forget what he called his squad of cosmic figures that he's built up here, but
I believe it was Brute Squad, wasn't it?
Brute Squad, that's right. Just that orange, between the orange and the white and the gunmetal, and just like out on the rocks. I mean, he's in Vegas, so just seeing that epic vista back behind them and everything reminds me of some like punk rock version of Planet of the Apes, the original Planet of the Apes when they first arrive on the planet and everything. So this is just really cool.
It's a little bit different than what I had in my mind. I was kind of picturing like Breaking Bad, where they're making meth out in the desert. I could just see like Sig pulling past like an RV that's making meth, and he's like, "I'm just taking some toy photos. Don't mind me." Sets up his figures and
oh gosh, don't do drugs, stay in school, eat your vegetables.
He's got a mostly naked Walter White behind him. I don't know who would be more embarrassed, the meth people or the toy photographer, but
I think me.
But yeah, I thought this was a really cool shot, and just it's got to be cool living in an area where you can find places like this where you could set up stuff and take such an awesome photo. Like I live in such a, like suburban area that like, there's just not many open spots that, you don't see houses and people walking by and dogs and stuff. So this is kind of cool.
Awesome. Yeah. And there's you can see it's 1 of 10. There's a whole bunch of shots. So go check out his Instagram, Area 42 _Earth _station. And it's just like a little progression. It's really cool.
Cool. This one was mine. This is Mateo Toy Photography, another cool Star Wars one, but mixed in with a troll. So we got a Mythic Legion troll with his head cut off there, and I'm not sure what he said to Luke, but something to piss him off. And yeah, Luke just took it off there. So
I literally saw this right when I got on to sign in for the show, and I was like, oh man, I'm gonna have to grab that later for next week. But you
beat you. I gotcha. I also love like the glow of the green, like on like the troll's arms and legs and stuff. So that was like a cool little effect as well. And then where he sliced off, where the neck is kind of like on fire or seared, is really cool. So
It's got almost like an oil painting look to it. Like it's almost like Frazetta-ish.
Oh, I was
Well, never mind.
say
I'm gonna
that.
take it out then.
That's my take. Like the background, the cloudy background,
Yeah.
and the arm and everything with the foreground and the blur in the background. Like it's really good. Like I'm getting some Frazetta vibes from this.
Yeah, it's a really cool shot, and I just love the pose, the lighting, the smoke, everything. So
Yeah, that kind of the motion blur effect of the saber trail is really cool. I hadn't noticed that
Mhm.
until like
I
read
didn't either until you just
comments
said
on it.
that.
yeah. And this one is Jesse.
I guess I got a thing for figures marching through dry, sandy, rocky places this week. But again, this one just jumped out at me. Angel Campos in I believe this was the Horde, the Orc Facebook group for Mythic Legions. Just everybody's been doing their Orktober pictures, just tons of pictures of orc. I mean, it's always orcs in there, but everybody's really been up in their game this week or this month, and just seeing these like orcs on the hunt. I don't know if that's supposed to be grave markers for things they've killed or their fallen soldiers or just something in the road, but I just really like that with the bright blue sky and the clouds. It was just
Do they
Yeah.
walk single file to hide their numbers?
Yeah, there you go. I like that axe the one in the front has. I'm guessing that's a 3D printed one, unless
Nope.
that comes from another line.
That's from one of the NECA gargoyles.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I really like that. It's
Yep.
cool, and the colors match real well with that Vorthog armor because it's got the combination between like the steel and the copper.
I think they might have painted the copper on there because I have
Oh,
that.
okay.
I don't remember if mine has the copper or not, but yeah, that's one of the things that grabbed me about the picture too. I was like, oh wait, I think I have that axe.
Yeah, the only thing I don't like about this is it looks like Bryophytus is at the end, and yeah, I mean, get him out of there. But
He
other
looks
than that,
deflocked.
what's that?
He looks deflocked.
Oh, if he's deflocked, then it's okay. Then we're okay with deflocked Bryophytus.
poor guy.
But
I
yeah,
mean, you are, unless you're referring to yourself as the royal we. I'm fine with flocked.
I was totally using the royal we. But yeah, orcs are cool. I think they should probably put out a new one and like have like a really cool reveal with like, awesome people talking about it. That would be neat. So
Yeah, too bad. Probably not going to happen.
Here's mine. This is Nerd Mythical. And it is this cool ogre, greenskin ogre with some it looks like cosmic parts mixed in, so it's like the vibe I got from this was like a space ogre, and he's holding that skull, which is cool. And yeah, I'm not sure where that torso / pauldron piece came from, but it's really cool looking. I like it a lot.
That's interesting. Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, I'm really curious about where that part came from. If anybody's watching and knows what that part is, please let us know. That's really cool.
It probably says on the Instagram, but you know me with reading, so
yes,
yeah,
too.
And I like the background, like whatever he used for the background there. I think is really cool.
Yeah, I like the hands. He's got some sort of different. I'm assuming the hands came from whatever that bigger torso piece is from, because it's got gripping. It's given me some Thanos vibes the way he's gripping that skull.
Okay, catch this. It says that it's a kit bash, and that torso is actually a 1/6 scale General Zod armor.
Okay, I was thinking General Zod.
That's kind of cool. I like that.
I didn't go to 1/6 scale, but that's really cool.
Yeah, that's neat. I like that.
Bravo, Nerd Mythical. That's pretty sweet.
All right. I was getting ready to hit up a third-party printer. And Jesse, I believe this is your last one.
I mean, yes, Loki season 2 is out, but this would have caught my attention either way. It's just the green flames, the crocodile or alligator, whatever that is, doing a flip. I think that is the croc from Crocmaster.
I don't know. Like it could be.
It made me laugh. I thought it was fun, and I guess sticking with my dirty sandy ground pictures this week. But yeah, just set up in front of a whole circus. It's just I don't know, just struck me as very fun.
Yeah, I think this is a really cool setup. I'm not sure, whether that was like a LCD background with the crowd there and stuff, or if that's some sort of dio. The whole setup with the green flame is really cool too. So, and then the little like dust trail behind him, like where he would have jumped,
Yeah.
and it kind of left the dust where he leaped off of the ground. Yeah, so I like the whole setup on this. Yeah, it's just really cool. So
very cool.
That is it for shelf selections.
Okay.
Good selections.
Awesome. Well, Damion, how are you doing tonight, sir?
Doing great, guys. I'm tired though. We had Comic-Con on Friday. We moved into our new house about 3 weeks ago, so this is all I got so far. It's a couple pictures on the wall. All my figures are in boxes back there. I got like 3-4 figures that I've attained so far since living here, like a couple Plunder Strongs and Evil Ryu, the Master Wang, the cat, the tiger.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And
nice.
The Red Death. I think those are the only ones I've gotten so far since in the 3 weeks, which not a bad start, but
Now, were you actually set up at that con this weekend? Like
no.
Okay.
No. Maybe next year. Honestly, every year people tell me I should do New York Comic Con, but like there was I talked to some vendors this year and they're like, it's a little tough to run because the internet's really bad there and they were losing sales because they couldn't connect to the internet. And if you want to use their Wi-Fi, they charge, I think, $400 or $500 per device to connect to their internet. And like the free Wi-Fi was down, but the vendor Wi-Fi was that cost. And even the vendors that did pay were having shoddy issues with it. So they're like, you're going to, unless they fix their issues, I would recommend not coming here because you lose a lot of sales. So
let that be a lesson to everybody. Cash is king. So
cash is king. Absolutely. But yeah, who knows? Maybe next year, maybe I can partner with another artist, split the table, and maybe we can do something there. That'd be really fun. I mean, it's like a bucket list thing. I wanted to do PowerCon actually. I really was setting my eyes on PowerCon, and then I find out they're skipping next year. So it's disappointing.
Yeah, I was hoping to go next year too. I think that's a terrible decision on their part. I think the attendance the following year is probably going to be way lower, but we don't make those.
Well, they some issues. Getting the room right? They had an issue.
The dates that they had, it wasn't a really good date, and it was going to be on a holiday weekend, and the only other dates available was going to conflict with another con. But there's other things that you could do, but they're just taking the year off. So the problem is
hopefully they come back strong.
Yeah, it sounds like, the area that they're in, like you have to kind of put in a bid for the weekend that you want. And if you don't have a reoccurring event, like then you kind of fall back to the back of the line. So the fact that they're taking a year off actually makes it more difficult in 2025 to get the weekend that they want. So we'll see. But I do think, like I've got a few of your signs. I got the X-Men one. I've got the Silverhawks. I got a Cabal one, and then I got a Superman one. And I think at like a Comic-Con where you've got all these different toy lines, I think your stuff would probably do really well there. I mean, I'm sure, you probably do well at the, like Legion's Con and stuff, but when it's something that's a little bit more diverse and has all these different brands, I could see you, doing real well at those. Yeah.
And that's like, my stuff is like unique. It's like there are some people out there that do this, but I don't think to the extent that I do and the method that I make them. So, I'm doing with high gloss enamel paints and really making them finish nice. Some people just do them in different layers of filament, so you can see the colors are not as bright. You can see the print lines, So I think I bring something really unique to the table. So we'll see if I can do something like that because I do really well on the local shows. And that's why I wanted to do PowerCon. I really want to kind of spread my wings a little bit and get out there to the bigger shows. I think it would be really fun. Maybe C2E2, San Diego's a bit of a hike, so we're going to hold off on that. But, the mid coast, the, Columbus and Chicago, maybe something like that. But, we'll see.
Very cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
do
David
you
would
go
be.
to like the RetroCon and ZoloCon and stuff
I
like that?
did. I did RetroCon. I've done ZoloCon, so I know all the organizers there. RetroCon I tried to do for 3 years, and that was one of those things where you said like if you're in the previous years, you would get in, and you get put on a waiting list. You know, if you're not already in, because everybody re-ups for the next year. So this year they moved to a larger hall, so I was actually able to get in, and I was messaging the organizers like 2 weeks before the tickets went on sale because I was like, I want to get in. I want to get in. Let me in. And they got me in. I did really well. It was a really good show. So
Awesome.
I'm definitely in for it for next year too. It's an hour and a half drive for me, but that's fine. Like so far that's been like my cap, hour and a half, 2 hour drive, you know, because hotel rooms, you know, the travel, everything else. I'm one guy, you know, so
Right.
as much as I try to get a helper, I can never get a friend to commit to come help me.
Oh no.
You know what? It saves me a lot of trouble too, because I don't leave the table. And when I leave, you know, when I leave the table is when I get in trouble and I end up going in the red. So because I'll just spend,
you see what everybody else has got.
Yeah. You know, I went over to Legion's table at RetroCon rather. And I was there like first thing Sunday morning because I set up Saturday morning. So I was too busy, but Sunday morning I was already set up. So you have time to walk around. Now I was there first thing in the morning and the guys are like, no, we got to wait. You have to wait for the line to come in first and then you can buy. I was like, all right, that's fair. I can understand it. Those guys have been waiting, you know, but I was like right there, you know, and then I came back later. I got all the things I wanted, but you know, it's tough when you're a collector too, especially like Legion's Con.
Yeah,
it's tough as a collector. But it's fun. It's fun. It's been a really fun process, and every time I say I'm tired of doing it, I get another drive, another push, and I'm like, yeah, I want to keep doing this. It's really fun.
Awesome.
That's cool.
Well, real quick, so I have a question about your I feel like signs isn't the right. What do you call them?
I call them signs. I think
okay.
I also don't like calling them signs per se. They could be display plaques. They could be figure stands. Some people put their figures on them, right? So I hate calling them signs, but that's basically what they are. They're just a sign to put in front of your display and really just make it pop and the icing on the cake. So you know, display plaque, that's too wordy and it's really fancy. So sign just keeps it easy.
Okay. This is just the weird itch in my brain because like I'm a type of person like I don't like walking in the exit door at Walmart and I get mad if someone's going in or out the wrong way when I'm trying to go the other way. So all that to say, because my brain goes legal, not that I know anything legal, but like have you had any pushback or any issues with that doing the signs?
No, in fact, I've had kudos, if anything.
Oh, cool.
So, I mean, I fall into an artist category. So you got those guys that make the rugs and make like Pokemon rugs and, you know, those guys and stuff. I'm one guy making these in my basement. I'm not wholesaling. I'm not distributing for resale. I'm not infringing on anything that's out there already. You know, Jeremy really put it into perspective for me because I did get the Mythic Legion's team. Their you know, kudos, their blessing, so to speak, to do the factions, right?
Yep.
So I got their right. So I was talking to Jeremy at RetroCon, not RetroCon, ZoloCon, and I said, you know, Jeremy, nice to meet you, blah blah blah. This was 2 years ago. I said, you know, people have been asking me to do Mythic Legion stuff, but since you guys are a more independent toy company, I wanted to talk to you about it. And you know, I make display signs for your collections, blah blah blah. And we walk over to the table, and he's looking, and I'm explaining, you know, why I want to do this and everything. And he goes, "Let me stop you right there." And if anyone's that talked to Jeremy knows he doesn't mince words, right? He's very careful on how he speaks. And he says, "Let me stop you right there." I was like, oh God, my heart sunk. I was like, he's going to kibosh this whole thing. He's like, "I love these. These are great. Oh my God, I see the vision. I get it." He goes, and this is where you put it in perspective. These aren't anything that Mythic Legions are going to make. They're not something they're going to sell. They're not going to package them. They're not going to sell them. You know, if it was something that like Mattel or Hasbro were making and then they were packaging it with their figures or something like that and selling those, then maybe we'd have a problem. But the fact that I'm not they're not doing that, and I'm such a small guy. If anything, I'm enabling people to buy more stuff, right? I've had guys come to my table and they keep all of their Marvel Legends in one spot. And then they come to my table like, oh my God, I need X-Men, I need X-Force, I need X-Factor, I need Age of Apocalypse, I need Spider-Man. And then they go home and they separate 120 figures that they just had clustered on a shelf on risers. Now they've got teams, right? And they're like, oh man, Wolverine was on X-Force, or and then he was also on this team and that team. So now I need 2 Wolverines, right? So now they're buying more figures to complete their teams, right? So if anything, I'm enabling these companies to make more money from sales. So that's in a nutshell. That's how I kind of get away with. Now, if anybody wanted to C&D me, they absolutely could, and I'd have to abide by it, obviously. And let's hope I never do that. And that's part of the reason why I don't want to do New York Comic Con, because it is such a big show and there's so many people there.
Gotcha.
But again, I've seen other people sell similar things at New York Comic Con, helmet stands, mask stands for Halloween. That says Halloween and it's a mask stand, right? And they do it in acrylic. So I've seen similar things out there. So I think that, I'm in a very fine gray area. And as long as I've had people come to me, I've had toy stores come to me and ask me to wholesale for them. And, what can you do? I'm ready to drop $7,000 with you right now. I want like 3 of everything you have. I want to sell them in my store. What's the lowest you can go? I said, I won't do that, because now I'm distributing with the intent of resale. And now that there's a whole new world of problems.
Gotcha.
I do. I know.
I hope that answers your question.
Yeah. No. That was a great answer. Thank you. I've been curious. I meant to ask you when I saw you at RetroCon last month, and or whenever that was, and that day just got away from me.
It was a crazy day.
I know we're gonna pull up your Instagram and kind of look at some of your signs and some of your work and stuff, but the one question I had, because I got some signs from you and I love them, like the X-Men one is absolutely gorgeous.
It's one of the most popular ones.
Yeah, I mean, like having that in front of your Marvel Legends or your whatever X-Men display you have is awesome. The one thing that I've had trouble with is like, how do you actually like put it on display? Because like right now I've just got it like leaning up against my figures, and I got the same thing with my Silverhawks and stuff, and I'm like, man, it would be really cool if there was like a stand or a clip or something to like hold this thing up. Like, what do you usually find?
So I leave it in,
I
make them about a 1/4 inch thick, because I don't want it to take too much room on your shelf, right? I want it to be able to stick up, and I want it light enough that it's not going to protrude out and it's not going to fall off or anything. A friend of mine said he likes the idea that they're so lightweight that he's not worried about putting them in the back of his DTOF and it falling and shattering a shelf, because they're lightweight, But I leave it up to the user on how they want to display it, because everybody has a different way. DTOFs, metal shelves, wooden shelves, right? I find command strips on the back just work the best. Put a couple command strips on the back and just stick it onto the front of your shelf or the front of your DTOF on the front of the glass, right? So I see a lot of people that have DTOFs. They either put it on the back glass if there's an open area, or they'll put it in the front of the glass in maybe a corner that doesn't take a lot of room. So that way it still looks like a cohesive picture, but then you open the glass and you have all your figures there and the display's on the glass itself, right? So command strips are really, really good, because if you're putting them on a wall or anything, it doesn't damage the wall either. So, but even blue tack, like anything will hold these things up, really. So it's really up to the user. Magnet strips, some people have metal shelves, and they like to, so I know Matthew Toy, if you guys are familiar with him, he's a photographer. He's got a whole bunch of my signs. He lives in Staten Island. He's so many signs, but he puts magnets on the back of all of my signs, and then he puts the corresponding magnet on his shelf, and they're all spaced the same amount away. So when he moves his displays, he just takes off the sign and he clips it right back where they go.
Gotcha.
Or Velcro dots. Okay. Velcro dots are also I know a guy that comes to the show, he puts them like 3 inches apart, the Velcro dots on. He's got like a template he made in cardboard. And he's like, this is how I put my Velcro dots on, And then that way he can move them around depending on how he wants to display.
Okay.
Very
cool.
Very cool.
Yeah. I was just wondering if you had any ideas with that, or if people, ask you like, how do I do this?
Yeah, they do all the time. Biggest thing is, are they magnets? because they have that black back, you know? So like, are they
Right.
magnets? Like not by default, but you can put a magnet on the back. And when people think they're car magnets, I'm like, I would not suggest doing that, you know?
I think I've got mine. I've got this Ilonis flock one. I've got it pinned with push pins into the wall right above my signed thistle thorn. So
yeah,
there it is.
So yeah, I've got a whole bunch of them. I've got a stack of like 30 cabals that I've got right now pending paint for for Legions Con. Yeah, so I've got and I got some horse heads, a lot of good stuff.
Oh, the horseman head.
Yes. Yeah, I don't have it. I thought I had it here, but I don't have it here.
Let's bring up your Instagram and show for folks that don't know what we're talking about. He makes these awesome display plaques / sign. Man, that was like a tongue twister.
That's what I said. That's why I hate calling display plaques.
Yeah. So you got your. I like your treat your shelf thing. I know that's not what you can call this, but I really like that.
My slogan.
Not just because our shelf, not because it's the name of the show or anything. I just think that's a fun slogan. Yeah.
Shooting a shelf. Son.
But these are really cool. I love how bright and like, I mean, they feel like you just like pushed the front of a comic book or whatever graphic, just pushed it out a quarter of an inch into 3 dimensions and dropped it on the table. They're so vibrant and very eye catching. And yeah, there's definitely way too many that I want to get to deal with all the things I have.
Yeah, I've got over 250 designs at this point, I think.
Oh, wow. Yeah, because at the moment I just have like cardboard cutout from the boxes of like
a lot of people do that,
and I'm like, man, these are so lame.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people do that. Yeah, this is when I was moving. I had all my shelves were empty, so I'm like, I'm gonna repurpose my shelves and just use them as drying racks right now.
Is this the X-Men one you have, Curtis? This blue and white?
No, I've got the yellow and red one. He's got like
original OG yellow.
Of those. Yeah, you can see it.
Yeah, I've got blue team, gray team, and red team. The OG red team.
Yeah, we got that one that's in that picture, and it man, I tell you what, it makes a huge difference. I love that Back to the Future one. How it's like fades from the orange to the yellow.
That was so hard to do.
Yeah.
So
that was so hard. Thundercats is another one, so pain in the butt to do.
Do you with the enamel? I've seen people do like the enamel pins. Is that the same thing where you like are doing like a squeeze dropper or something and just letting them?
Very similar.
Wow.
Yeah, very similar. I have the cans of enamel paint and I have a syringe and I'm painting them with a syringe. And anything that has a gradient paint or color I can't get in a can, I'm using like toolbox paint, spray enamel paint. So that way the spray paint is enamel and it's got a nice, durable cover.
Oh, wow. Yeah. The Back to the Future, I switch off because it's a video, but yeah, that's really cool. You're saying.
I do time lapses too. Like I do live paints as well. So that's that. If you click on that Onimusha, I think that's a time lapse. I think the Flintstones is a time lapse. And so is the, there you go. So that's the gold I was using and a little pipette.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So for the gold, I use a pipette because the syringe is a little bit, the gold is very thin. So the syringe doesn't work. So I actually use a pipette and I just give it a drop and let it spread in there.
That's cool.
Okay.
It's like coloring within inside the lines. Yeah.
It really is. Everybody's like, oh my God, it's like therapeutic watching these fill in, watching these time lapse stuff.
That's really cool. And you said the Flintstones maybe too?
Yeah, I think that's also a time lapse.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So this is definitely, goes into what you were saying about being like the artist thing, like to mass produce this would be a never-ending task.
Yeah.
Every one of these is by hand. I had over 800 signs at RetroCon. So, so I mean, I have a steady rollover of usually like 300 or 400 signs from other shows. But then, I'm backfilling. I have a whole inventory spreadsheet. And then what I do is a few weeks before a show, like now for Legions Con, I go through all my bins, I lay them all out on the floor, and then I open my spreadsheet and I say, okay, I've got 3 X-Men left. I need to make another dozen of these because they're my hot ones. You know, I got, you know, so many of these left. I have to make X, Y of these, you know? So I have like a laundry list of things that I have to make. This is a full like stream that I do. I call Paint and Chat.
Gotcha.
So I stream live. I do my top-down camera, and then I just stream live on Instagram. I used to do YouTube, but nobody was watching me on YouTube. So I go back to Instagram. That's where people like to hang out. And so I hang out at Instagram, and we paint these live. And I'm usually on for a couple hours. And, you know, I figure if I'm going to be sitting here painting these, why not hang out with everybody and chat? So it's
Absolutely.
a good time.
Yeah.
So when you fill those in, like we were showing the Flintstones one and stuff, like once you fill it in, like how long does it take for these things to like set to where, you know, they're
2 to 3 days.
Oh, okay.
Honestly, because the enamel paint is an oil-based paint. I've tried acrylic enamel, not good. It does not give me a nice shine. It pools up. It's really fickle to work with. So I find that the oil-based enamel is the best to use. And after 24 hours, it gets a skin on it. But if you touch it, you're going to leave a fingerprint. You're going to leave a dent in it. So I just set it and forget it. I paint them. I put them away. I don't touch them for like 3 days.
Well, shoot, if you got to let them sit that long, you must have a large work area to kind of leave these things sit.
I do. I've made myself, you know, like those food service racks that you ever see like at the hospital where they come and bring that cart and it's got a little rack. Yeah. I've made something like that where I just set them all onto a rack and just, you know, I can put like 30, 40 signs on a rack and just do it. The other pictures I used to have them on like a 4-foot folding table, and that I outgrew that very quickly. So I was like, I need a way to do this better.
That's cool.
So these are
and I'm not shy about the process. Yeah. I show everybody the process. I show everybody the paints I use. You know, I'm not, there's nothing that's really secret that I do. I mean, some of the techniques I do, like I do seal them before I paint them, because anyone that 3D prints knows that PLA is like porous in some cases if you don't have like good overlapping lines. So, you know, I do seal them with a clear coat and everything else to hold the paint.
Very cool.
Yeah, I saw that.
I'm gonna have to get one of these.
Which
I'm
ones?
gonna have to get
gargoyles,
one of these gargoyle ones if you have it. Like,
I do.
They have a pretty,
here.
because their wings are so big. They have their own shelf.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're way too big.
Oh, very cool. So you were just talking about how you're not shy, you don't like keep your process secret, which is really cool because I mean you're into Mythic Legions as well. And Curtis and I, we always talk about how open and sharing so much of the community is with doing that. So it's just cool that you're not doing custom figures here, but this is like this is, you know, part of your living that you're doing here. And, you know, you're just sharing, you know, how it works. And I just think that's really cool that, you know, how does that expression go? Like attracts like, or something like that. So just like so many people keep coming into this community that just keep sharing what they do, and I think that's really cool.
I mean, it's cool to see it, but that's the amount of work that would go into it and the amount of space that you need, like that. I don't see many people that are watching, you know, that are going to be like, I'm going to take this up,
time
you
lapse.
know.
I think that X-Men is a time lapse. If you go up a little bit.
Oh, there
X-Men. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not comparing
and
what
this
I'm
is
about
sped
to
up
say
like
to what
6
you
times. You know, go
wow.
on.
I used to work at a comic shop, and I would do the white dividers. Instead of just writing, you know, X-Men with a black marker, I started mimicking the cover, the titles.
That's awesome.
So like doing this by hand, I was like, oh my gosh! So seeing this being so crisp and so exact, it is very satisfying to see it done this way.
Now on that bottom one there, it looked like maybe you got a spot of the yellow that was in the wrong spot. How did you fix that?
Yep. I just use a Q-tip. I got Q-tips. I get them at the dollar store for like $300. And because the paint doesn't really mix immediately, I can dip the Q-tip and roll it. And when I roll it, it rolls up that little spot of paint.
Oh, okay.
You couldn't see it was too fast, but if I roll the Q-tip, I can scoop up that little spot of paint and just throw it right in my trash can, and then I'll refill it with a little bit of extra paint.
Beautiful.
Everything.
Yeah,
I mean, you guys
really
know
cool.
it's so much trial and error, right?
Yeah.
Everything is trial and error. What works, what doesn't work. Finding the right tools for the job. It's really.
Oh, this one's fun.
Where's
how
the
did
best
you?
place for people to find these? If I mean, obviously you're at shows and stuff, but you do sell online, right? Is it better for them to
I do.
contact you through
Typically
Instagram,
through
or do you have a
Instagram.
website? Okay.
Yeah. Typically through Instagram. I had an Etsy shop, but Etsy actually, so stupidly, Etsy shot me down for copywriting, right? Even though there are guys doing these in 3D printing layers and making them, bigger and whatever, and doing them in MDF as well, I got, shut down. But from what I understand, the only reason you get flagged is if other people report your account. So I'm having that somebody didn't, started flagging me, and then they shut me down. So whatever. So just Instagram is the way to go. I'm working on a Shopify to do a Shopify, point of sale for everybody, make it a little bit easier than just messaging me, because Instagram has been really bad lately with messages coming through. I've missed a lot of messages. I've missed, people asking me questions or wanting to make purchases. So, but they can still message me through Instagram or I have a link tree on my page as well that will take you to all my social media.
Gotcha. Jesse, do you have the little banner at the bottom that we can throw up with his Instagram handle?
Oh,
in case
shoot.
people need it?
Yeah. Sorry.
That'd be great.
Let me get that edited here.
Like Plunderlings, that's so fun. I actually had Ricky from Plunderlings commission 5 gigantic signs, like an inch thick and 15 inches big, that he's using and on his displays. So Brian Almeida, his dial for the Plunderlings, Duarte.
Yeah.
Amazing. I just saw it at Comic-Con, and it just, pictures don't do this thing justice. And then bloop, right there in the middle is a sign that I made. I was like, that's so cool. Like, that's my thing.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's really fun.
These, I only have 2 of these, but they're a lot of fun.
Oh, they're so much fun. And now you got the Plunder.
I'm so worried. Like there's things like Plunderlings, Glyos, that I'm worried that if I pick up one, that's it.
You're gonna be hooked.
That's what happened to me. Rabbit hole.
I got one Plunderling. I got Zombone with his little skull head and his little bone, and I was hooked.
Yep.
Immediately hooked. You just got to have them all.
And
I was the same way
with
with
Mythic
Legions.
I was going to get one.
Yes.
Yeah. I was like,
I was going to get
okay, well,
I was going to get the green Plunderling, and that was going to be it.
I was going to get the Templars and the Orcs and the Vampires, and that's it. I'm not going to get dwarves. I'm not going to get skeletons. And then it's like, okay, I'll get one dwarf. And then so yeah. That never works.
I did it with reinforcements, the first wave of reinforcements a couple of years ago. I said, I've been at these shows with these guys. I'm doing their signs. Like, I kind of got to get a couple of these and see what they're all about. The price point always kind of scared me a little bit. And then when all the other toy companies were raising their prices, I was like, well, what, why not? For $40 or $37 for a reinforcement, let me give it a shot. And then I got like the skeleton and the goblin. I was like, holy crap. And I showed my friend, I was like, look at all you get. All this interchangeable armor, interchangeable weapons. Look at all you get for $30-some. And then he got some, and now he's hooked. And then I started getting all the He-Man tributes. So I have like the Battle Cat and Purplore. Like I've got all them, and Vitus. And I've just been hooked, man. It's a rabbit hole. It's a dangerous rabbit hole.
What are some of your most popular signs that you sell at shows? X-Men,
Ninja Turtles, Spider-Man. Those are like the top 3 all the time. Ninja Turtles goes like crazy. The Galactus one's been really popular lately. Those are just some of my sticker designs that I always hand out. I have sticker packs I hand out to everybody at the shows. But yeah, those are the main 3. What else is really popular lately? I started doing some anime. Right. So JoJo's Bizarre Adventure has been really popular. My Hero Academia, One Piece, the Indiana Jones, very popular as well.
That Superpowers
pretty hot with the
badass.
Right. I always say, like, every year I kind of make myself like a top 5 favorite signs I made. And last year, Indiana Jones and Back to the Future were my 2022 top favorite ones.
I love that superpowers with the
Motu's also
shooting
pretty
out.
popular.
Yeah.
Yep. The stars. Yeah.
Dude,
And it's funny.
cool.
It all depends on the
Cobra
show,
ones.
you know?
Yes.
Yep. Cobra. I mean, some shows I might not sell a single Pokemon sign. And then other shows, I'll sell all 15 signs that I brought. It's so, you know,
wow.
you just get such a different crowd depending on where you're going. These are Comic-Con from last year.
Oh, there he is.
Todd Father. Yeah. He wasn't there this year. I was very sad he wasn't there this year, but I did get a signed comic from him this year. They had a panel, and if you attended the panel, because his son was getting married, so if you attended the panel about what's coming up with Spawn for the next year or so, they gave you a previews book that was hand signed by him. It's limited to 250.
Oh wow,
so
cool.
Yeah, so that was fun.
So
fun.
How did you stumble into or intentionally choose to start doing these? Like was that like what led to
for myself?
What led to that?
Yeah, it was just myself, man. Like I always wanted a 3D printer. Like, you know, I knew people that had 3D printers and I thought they were so cool. I was like, you know, I have a background in graphic design. So I was like, I really want a 3D printer just to make stupid stuff. Like I wanted to make like battery caddies and like desk organizers and, you know, that like with the skulls that you can just put your pens in, you know, like I wanted to make stupid stuff. What's up, Rocco? Thank you for that. Yeah, I just wanted to make stupid stuff out of 3D printers. So 3D prints. So I got my 3D printer. I actually started with making articulated chains for figures, like for Kratos and Ghost Rider, right? So I was making articulated chains and then articulated webs and Venom tendrils. Those were my like things that I was making for my figures. And then people wanted them through the Facebook groups and I started selling those. The money I got from that, I bought a 3D printer and I started just making signs for my own shelf. I was like, I want a Spider-Man shelf for my collection. I want a Venom sign for my collection. I made it. And one of the Facebook groups, one of the Marvel Legends groups was like, is like Shelfie Saturday or something. And, you know, show off your Spider-Man collection today. I was like, all right. So I take a pic of my Spider-Man collection. Immediately I get blown up in the comments. Where'd you get that sign? That looks amazing. That really just makes your collection look so cool. Where did you get it? How do I get one? I was like, oh, I made it. And like light bulbs went off and people, again, I started getting nailed. Like, can you make X-Men? Can you make this? Can you make that? Can you make this? Can you make that? And I was like, yeah, I guess I could, right? I could do that. And they're like, how much? I'm ready to throw money at you. And I was like, and as a collector, I'm like, what would I be comfortable paying for something like this? You know, a figure's $20 to $30. So I was like, $20? And they're like, sold. I was like, oh my God, did I just undersell myself? You know, like they didn't hesitate, you know? So I said, you know, for $20, you know, I'll sell them for $20. And then it just blew up on Facebook pages. People just getting X-Men and Wolverine, you know, all of those hot items. And then they said, you should do a toy show. And I was like, I don't want inventory. I make to order. I don't want to make these and just have them sitting here. Right. I don't want to do that. Yeah. I just make to order. People make an order. I print them. I paint them. I ship them. I tell them 2 weeks, you get it. Right. And at the time I was living in Toms River, and there's a Toms River toy show literally a mile from my house every month. So I took a couple of my signs. I talked to the organizer. I was like, hey, I'd like to get a table. This is what I make. He goes, you're in. He goes, next show is this, you know, date. And, you know, it's like $60 for the table, blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay, cool. I didn't have a tablecloth. I didn't have anything, right? I just threw a handful, and I got to post pictures of my first table. I just had everything just thrown on a table, maybe 7 or 8 different designs, and my figures with their tendrils and their chains. And I made like $500 that day. And I was like, oh my God, I got to do shows. I got to do toy shows. And so, you know, and then it just progressed from there. And I've got standing shows. I've got, you know, the big shows like Legion's Con and Toy Con. And it's just been fun, man. It's just been fun making friends with the community. God, that is what I value the most. Like knowing you guys, like I'm here with you guys. I'm like so stoked that you wanted me on your show. I'm not even joking. Like for real, when you messaged me like, Damion, we want you on the show. I was like, what? Like, no, you've got like the Furious Four. You've got like guys, like real guys on these shows. And I'm just like, I don't feel like I'm like that a staple, but I'm starting to realize I am. Like, the people that I was a fan of, I've become friends with. People at Hasbro, people at Plunderlings, Jason from Animal Wars: The Kingdom, Spiro Toys, like, these people I talk to now, and I'm like, why are they talking? You're giving me your time. You're talking to me.
It's funny. It's funny you say that, because like when I first got in the Mythic Legions community, like one of the first things I did was I wanted to build a couple dios and stuff. And I started watching Rocco the Great, who's in the chat right now. And I've not seen him watch this show. And so when I saw him pop up, I was like, oh shit, that's the guy I used to watch. He was making all these cool dios and stuff. And I'm like, that's pretty awesome. So I hear you.
He lives close to me. He is so cool.
Yeah, you get into it, and next thing you know, these people that you admire their work, all of a sudden they admire, your work, and back and forth.
Yeah,
and it's pretty cool.
It's just so mind blowing, and I'm so thankful for the community. Really, like, it's just like, I go to Comic-Con on Friday, and people are like, DBlake. I'm like, like, who, me? Like, I go to the Hasbro, and like Ryan Ting is like, Damion. I was like, oh, that's amazing. These YouTube guys, Kevin from Toying Around, and again, you guys, and it's just really amazing. I don't take any of that for granted ever. Like, I'm truly, truly thankful for the popularity of these. And that's why I tell you, like, that's every time I'm like, I'm so tired of making these stupid things. There's then somebody will message me and say, hey, I want you on the show, or I got a show coming up like Legion's Con. I was like, all right, I'm back in. Like, I'm, as creators, you guys know, you go through lulls, right? I think every creator goes through a lull where they're just like, I'm tired. I just want to go to bed at a decent time tonight, and, but then you stay up till 1 o'clock painting something or printing something, or, that your printer's going to end at 2 o'clock in the morning. So you set yourself a silent alarm and you sneak downstairs to change your printout at 2 o'clock in the morning. So you're not wasting all that time between overnight. Right. Yeah. It's
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like this morning I woke up and I was like, well, I really don't have anything to do. I should probably be painting. And that's exactly when I don't want to paint. And so I was like, I'm going to get Baldur's Gate 3 instead and just play some video games. So I did that most of the day.
I miss video games. I got to say, I miss video games a lot. I'm an Xbox. Like, I like PlayStation too. I'm a gamer. I want any game, right? I like games. I'm not a fanboy of either one. But I do have a lot more Xbox games than PlayStation. So, like, every year, Xbox gives you your stats of the year. Your, how many achievements you've done, your play time, the game you played the most. In 2021, when I started making these, I was like, "Oh, my stats are out. Let me go get my stats." It's like, you don't have enough play time for stats. I was like, "Oh, what?" Like, I was so disappointed in myself that I hadn't played. I was so busy making 3D prints and doing these that I hadn't played any video games enough to make stats for that year. I was like, my God,
oh man,
what has become of me?
Yeah, my kids did that to me last year with Spotify. It like does your playlist, and my kids were looking at it last year and they're like, you haven't even listened to enough songs to make a playlist, Dad. I'm like, I felt so bad for myself.
Right? You're disappointed in yourself a little bit. You're like, man, I'm not as nerdy as I thought I was,
Yeah, I guess I got to stop listening to music on YouTube and listen to Spotify now so that I get a cool playlist at the end of the year.
You listen to music on YouTube?
I don't.
What?
What? Like videos?
Easy. It's just easy. If you need a song, you just go into YouTube and just type it in and play it. And my daughter's like, I bought Spotify for the family. You can use it. It's free. I'm like, okay, all right. So I'm an old man. What do you want me to do?
I have Pandora.
Make a playlist on your iTunes.
It is what it is.
Remember the days of LimeWire, downloading your songs?
Oh, yeah.
What was the other one? LimeWire, and what was the other one? Napster, right?
Yep.
Napster, yeah.
And there was one with a dog, wasn't there?
There was. Oh no, I'm thinking Winamp is what I played him on the computer.
Oh, yeah. And then you were burning your own CDs and everything.
Alexander's with me. He played music on YouTube for a while.
Past
old
tense,
people.
he used to.
Yeah, well, I'm not either. I'm using Spotify like a cool kid now. All right, so
I feel like I need to use Spotify because I'm old school too, and I'm using Pandora, but they just play
I
the
was
same
using that
songs.
too. Yeah.
They just play the same songs, like almost in order sometimes. If you leave your station, go to another station, go back to that old station, you almost get the same songs in order. I'm like, and it's not a playlist. I'm not on someone's playlist. I'm actually on station, like radio
Right.
station. And I'm like, but they only have that. And then I have XM in the car. X-Men. I have XM in the car, and same thing. It's all the same.
There you go,
song.
Curtis.
There you go.
You're in good company then.
Beautiful.
All right. I take it
Too
back.
funny.
I didn't realize that was a thing. Like if I want to see a music video or if I
Well,
need to see the
yeah.
lyric version, I'll go to YouTube. But like I never thought of just playing it through YouTube.
If I want to hear that one song, if I want to hear that one specific song, then I'll Google it. YouTube shows up. I watch it on there, or I tell Alexa, play this song, and there's like plays a song.
And I think the YouTube Premium even has where you can listen to music while the app is closed. Like you can close it and it'll still play. So
with YouTube,
You know what
I think you need a
else does that?
premium subscription for that.
yeah, that's what I was saying through the premium.
Okay, yeah.
But Spotify is really cool because you can just, select all like you can make a playlist and select all your songs in it, and then you can randomize it and just kind of play it however. So I've got a few on there. So I'm excited at the end of the year to see what my playlist is and see if my kids are impressed with me or not. So, or if they call me lame again, like they did last year.
I mean, what are the odds, even if it is a good playlist, that they will still call you lame?
Yeah, what's
Probably
good
not
to you
good.
is not to them.
I will say my kids, most of their music that they listen to is because of what I listen to. So they'll probably
So
like
they
my
need
playlist.
you to listen to new stuff so they can find other good stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I remember I turned a teenager on to Iron Maiden.
My youngest daughter, she was listening to Ozzy. She really liked Ozzy, and she had been listening to him for I don't know 6 months or so, and then she found out that he was in Black Sabbath, and it like blew her mind. And my oldest was just making fun of her, like how did you not know Ozzy was in Black Sabbath?
Right.
And I'm joining in. I'm like, yeah, you're an idiot.
Trying to jump on the bandwagon.
Right.
That's
well,
great.
if I'm the one that's cool and they're not, then I gotta jump on the bandwagon.
Right. Yeah, I was saying, like, old coworker, he was probably in his early 20s, not a teenager. He was in his early 20s, a past coworker. I don't know, he's looking for music or whatever, and he's kind of getting into rock a little bit. And I was like, dude, you know Iron Maiden? He goes, I've heard of them. I just never listened to them. I was like, bro, listen to Iron Maiden because their songs tell a story. And like, it's like almost an audiobook. Like you can just sit there and close your eyes and listen to Run to the Hills and imagine the Native Americans and, or Icarus, the flight of Icarus and going into the sun. And like, you can imagine this happening. And he came back like the next, like Monday. And he's like, bro, I downloaded every Iron Man. You changed my life. He's like, this is amazing. Yeah, so
that's great. The only thing I know about Iron Maiden is from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. So
listen to Iron Maiden, Curtis. You got it.
All right,
Iron Maiden.
If you change my life, I'm gonna come back and let you know.
Listen to yeah. Listen to The Trooper, Run to the Hills. Some of the more popular stuff. Flight of Icarus. Great songs.
Yeah. Curtis probably won't get it then, Trevor.
Hey, I started reading. But the stuff I'm reading,
they were writing songs.
Yeah, I don't think they were writing songs about Marvel graphic novels and stuff. Yeah, Last Ronin.
Man, I remember years ago when I was working at the comic shop, my boss, my manager, she was really into like really interesting music. That was her thing, was like looking up new music and like following bands and finding all this other stuff. And I'm like, I just get stuff from like shows and movies and commercials. And I'm like, oh, I kind of like that. And I look it up. I'm like, oh, I'll buy the song. Oh, I like the whole album. So I kept talking about how the TV show Chuck had a lot of music that I found good on it. And working in the comic shop, I just assumed when I said, oh, I got this from Chuck, it was on, whatever, when my playlist was on in the store. And then one day she's like, I really want to meet this Chuck guy, that you keep talking about. I was like, Joe, I'm talking about Chuck, the TV show that ended like 2 years ago. She's like, what? I thought you were talking about a friend of yours named Chuck. I'm like, no. It's like,
your buddy has really good taste in music.
Yeah, like she's like, where? Oh, she was like, oh, how did you hear this song? I was like, oh, it was, from Chuck. And, it was, I don't know how many years that went by before she realized It was
That's
too funny.
hilarious. That's
Yeah,
great.
she was gonna have you set her up with Chuck.
Yeah, this guy's really into me. He knows
Yeah,
what I
is
like.
Chuck seeing anybody, or is he single? What's his deal?
Then yeah. Fun times.
Fantastic.
Oh,
So
That's awesome.
Legion's Con's coming up, and you've got a table. Do you know what your table number is, or where you're at?
Yes, I'm table 42.
Oh, nice. Got it on the jersey and everything.
DB.
Beautiful. Did you request that table, or just happen to luck out? Oh, nice.
No, I requested it. Jeremy sent the map, and I was like, "Is 42 available?" He goes, "Yep." I was like, "I'll take it." There's not a bad.
That's my
there's
box
not
number.
Going to be a bad table. Oh, is it?
No. Yeah, that's my comic box number, and my third favorite number.
No.
Yeah.
I said there's not going to be a bad spot there. There's no bad tables. You could be in the back corner, away from the Legion's table. It doesn't matter. These guys do laps, and they come through, over and over again. So not a bad spot. And I'm so excited for the other room too. It's gonna be so big, man. Like, we're not prepared.
Trying to look up the map, like to where we can zoom in closer. But I can't. It's on the Legion's Con website, isn't it?
Yes.
He's on the Legion's. Yeah. PB, dude, come out to Legion's Con. You would love it.
It's on. Yeah. Yes, definitely. Come to Legion's Con. I think they the other day, Jeremy, or maybe it was even last week, they said they still had. I think
they were like 80% sold.
He said they had about 100 or so left, I think, of the. I got you, Curtis.
Okay, so you're next to Lone Wolf.
That's
Labs.
right, Trevor. That's another reason for 42.
Yep,
yeah, I'm right next to Lone Wolf, dude.
42.
Kevin is great. I love hanging
Death
out
by
with Kevin.
Collectibles.
Like, the fact I'm going to be next to Kevin, like, we're going to be freaking talking all day.
Oh, you're across from Matt Rodriguez and Dr. Grimslock, and you got a pretty good, like you said, there's not really a bad spot, but you got a pretty good little block there.
Yeah. It's definitely, again,
the map is not open.
It's a good block no matter where you go.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Oh, and you got the Euro Legion boys right behind you. Nice.
What's that?
You got the Euro Legions guys right behind you. So that'll be fun.
I didn't even realize that. Yeah. I can't wait to see Emil's table. I'm sorry. Like, that's like one of my most anticipated tables.
I'm gonna get a pretty good look at it because he's right next to me.
Nice. Yeah, we got Detour Customs, he's just amazing. Steph is just amazing. And Duarte over on the corner. Art G's got his spot here. Art G's come. I saw Art G at Comic-Con. I saw Trevor at Comic-Con. Trevor left something at a table and then he ran away. So I only got to see him literally for maybe 15 seconds. And then he disappeared. And then I had to go down for an autograph with Greg Capullo. So so I was like,
is that guy still jacked?
He's ripped. He's
I met him like it was almost a year into the new 52 relaunch with him and
Snyder.
Oh crap, Snyder. Yeah, they were doing. My buddy Sean and I were in the line, and we were trying to get all like 11 or 12 issues of Batman that they had done to that point in the new 52 sign.
Mm-hmm.
And we just kept like looping back to the end of the line, and at one point they're like, "Hey, just what do you got?" And they're like, "Well, we'll do 2." And then at one point they're like, "Hey, you guys have been coming through the line all day. Like, why don't you And they were like, "You want to show up? Yeah, let's show up." And they both whip out their phones and they're trying to get because they hadn't revealed Joker yet in the new 52. So they were like, "Oh, check this out," and they were like racing to see which one of them could pull it up first.
Funny.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
That was funny.
It's really fun.
I've
been trying to meet him for the past
Trevor
3 years.
Is right next to Chris, and that is going to be quite a show. Can you imagine Trevor putting up with Chris for the whole convention?
Oh yes, look at that. Oh man.
but he's offset. He's got
Good.
the C. Jessam team right next to him on the other
Yeah.
side. So like they'll probably be like different energies balancing out.
That's true.
I mean,
And
it's
you're
not
right
like
next
Chris
to
is
you
going to
now,
be at his
Wickman.
table.
Yeah, I'm in between Emil and Jesse, so I'm surrounded
Okay.
by two good dudes. And
Yeah.
you know, I think I said on one of the, I think it was on the Euro Legions, where it's like, you know, maybe people will buy some stuff at my table while they're waiting to see Jesse's stuff and Emil's stuff. So.
Right. And then you got Jeremy right behind you. That happened
Yeah.
to me last year,
Yeah.
right? So like
Eric LeBron.
people were coming to my table and buying, but then I had J Beer next to me.
Mhm.
And you know, they were buying from me and then just going right over to J Beer and picking up stuff too. It was really fun. We had a really good chat, me and him.
That's cool.
He was a cool guy.
I don't think there, like you said, there's not a bad spot in either room. You know, I think I like the way it's spread out because you've got such a different variety of things and stuff. So like just the root, like kind of like a good painting, you know, or a good photograph, your eye's going to get drawn to the way, you know, what the photographer or the artist was trying to get you to do. And I think this map is the same way. Like, you know, you've got your stuff, and then I know Death by Collectibles has got all sorts of toys. Like Sven's a pretty cool
Right.
dude. He's got a variety of toys he's going to have, including Legions, and all that stuff. So like it's, you know, so maybe everybody's looking at Mythic Legions. They come by you, they see those signs, they see he's got some Marvel that I'm going to grab one of those signs.
Well, that's
you
that's
know?
the thing. Like we're not in a pigeonhole of Mythic Legions collectors. We collect everything. And like everything from like Legions to Biker Mice from Mars and Street Sharks, right? I mean, we collect everything across the whole gamut. Visionaries and Mask and like, you know, retro stuff, new stuff. Everybody collects something. So they just come to my table and I'm like, oh my God, like where do I begin? You know, so it's really fun.
I'm just gonna have to avoid tables 74 through 77. That's
that row, murderer's
yeah.
row.
Yeah, it's got the Animal Warriors of the Kingdom and then the Glyos. And yeah, I'm not like too many rabbit holes. It's like I gotta block it. I can't take on.
I'm going to buy you a Plunderling, and I'm gonna put it on your table, and you're gonna play with it, and you're gonna go over to the Plunderling's table, and you're just gonna go nuts.
Yep. And I'm gonna get you an AWOC.
Somebody had
the
I need
a
white one, the little white one last year with the Mohawk.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's really cool. And I actually went to go get one and they were sold out. And I was like, okay, well, maybe this is for the best because, you know, now I don't need to go down that rabbit hole. So,
No, the cool thing about those, the Mohawk's not permanent.
Right. Yeah.
They're magnets.
It's a magnet.
Yeah.
So, like the same thing with like the bandana. So, if you buy 2 or 3 of them, you can just flip flop all their
interchangeable.
parts.
Click, 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 click.
Yeah.
And they all each come with 3 heads and different hands and.
Yeah, and the Glyos is another one that because they've got so many like the Motu tribute type ones that I could see myself really going down that one as well. Plus, they're so small that you can have a bunch of them and it doesn't take up a bunch of room. You know,
right?
That's how I would try to justify it to myself. I'd be like,
"Do you have
a lot of room? But these things are small."
Do you have what I like to call a smalls shelf?
I don't currently know.
No. Like I have, like I'm primarily like a Spider-Man collector, right? So I've got all my my Legions on one shelf. I've got like Ninja Turtles, all the NECA stuff on another shelf, but all my Spider-Man stuff, whether it's SHF or Marvel Legends, etc. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Zombone is the one that got me. Zombo is the one that hooked me on these things. You're gonna love them. But I also have like a small shelf of Spideys. Like I've got minifigs, you know. Spider-Man minifigs, Spider-Man mini mates, right? Any like wind-up toys. So just a whole shelf of just little tchotchkes, as my friend would call it, of Spider-Man. And that's my small shelf. So I was wondering if you guys had anything like that. Do you guys collect any small things?
I've picked up some of the what are these called? Biddy Pops. Have you seen those?
No.
Oh yeah.
I picked up some Batman ones from Hot Topic, and then my wife got these ones. They're like Avengers. Hold on 1 second. I'll show you. So these things are super small. So like this is the Batman.
Oh wow.
Let me.
Oh yeah.
Here. So It's like this little tiny.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see compared
Mini
to the size of
brands.
my hand,
Yeah.
and then it pops out from the bottom.
Toys for your
And
toys. That's awesome.
So you could take it out and then you could just pop it right back in the box. But like they take up like
That's
no
cool.
room at all. So
No.
there's Batman and here's Joker.
And they're the cool little thing that just catches your eye, right? Like
Yeah.
if you're just like looking at everything and then you like double take, you're like, what is that little thing? I was like,
Yeah.
that's so cool. Like
Well, these were in
that's
like
probably the
mystery
coolest little thing.
bags. So you like these you didn't know what
You
you
don't
were
know what
getting
you're
in a
getting.
mystery bag. But then the Avengers, I saw Avengers ones and Star Wars ones that they have at the store, like at Target and stuff. And it'll be like a 4-pack. Well, 3 of them you can see what the 3 are, and then the last one will be a mystery.
That last
bag.
one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So they're kind
And
of
that's the one that gets you.
Yeah. But that's really, I mean, the only small thing newer that I've got a bunch of like Battle Beasts. There you go.
There you
That's
go.
what I'm talking about.
There it is. Yeah. What'd you score in that box?
Yeah, what is that? It's got 2 of the turtles.
Well, this was the I was getting the turtle ones because I wanted all the regular ones, and then I eventually got all of the 8-bit ones. So that's an 8-bit set. I'm probably gonna like give away or sell or trade or something.
Mhm.
It was just right on my shelf here.
Ah, gotcha.
Speaking of giveaways, do you guys do giveaways on here?
Occasionally, yeah.
Would you be interested in me giving away a Cabal sign?
Oh, absolutely.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Why not? I always like to, if somebody invites me to their show, my way of saying thank you is to do a giveaway for everyone that tunes in. So I don't know if you guys use the StreamMate hashtag thing or
Yep.
or
I'm getting that
or...
loaded up now. Let's do
Cool. Sorry, I didn't mean to drop it on you guys. I meant to ask.
No, you're fine.
No,
they got away from me.
it's a good time to mention. I know we had talked about doing something when we hit 500. So we just hit that.
Oh yeah.
We're probably going to wait till right after Legions Con, though. I know we've already gotten one of our watchers has volunteered to donate something for a giveaway, and then we'll be putting something in too. We'll see if maybe we can score an exclusive or something from Legions Con, and but we'll be doing something after Legions Con.
I'd be glad to contribute to that.
So that'd be awesome.
Definitely down to contribute to that. So you do Cabal signs, any mythic signs, or
with hitting 500 right after the reveal, and then doing that huge painted up.
It was a big week for us. Yeah.
Challenge and everything. We're like, okay, well,
yes.
let's build up some excitement for this, and so yeah, it'll be coming after Legions Con. But yeah, let's do DBlake Makes as the hashtag. That's not too complicated, right?
Easy
Sure.
peasy.
As long as you throw it on the screen, I think they'll be fine.
It's right there.
Yeah. Let's see. Share screen. DBlake Makes. Go ahead, hit your hashtags, folks. Oh wow, thank you, Brian. Brian said he's going to throw some of that torches to that. So we're just going to have like a Cabal community giveaway. Thank you, everybody. So yeah, DBlake Makes. Go ahead, type that in now, and we're going to be doing, what was it? The
Cabal sign, free shipping and. Whatever. I don't even care. I don't care. Free worldwide shipping. I don't care. Wherever you are, I'll ship it.
Beautiful. Do you have any other, while we wait for people to put in for that, do you have any other newer ones that you've been working on that people maybe haven't seen yet?
Let's see. I mean, people have seen the Ronin. Magic the Gathering. Very, very new, very popular.
Oh,
nice. Yeah, this was a suggestion. Somebody at a show, they're like, "Do you have Magic the Gathering?" I was like, "No, why don't I have Magic the Gathering yet?" Because like I don't think of these things all the time, So I need people to suggest them, right? And if it's something I think is really cool, like there's a huge Magic, community out there. I was one of them many, many, many years ago. So I was like, dude, that's cool. So I threw that one together. So that I think came out really, really nice. And then we got the Barbie ones were really popular at RetroCon. So we got Barbies.
Of course.
Nice.
All right. Because the movie.
Do you have anything for D&D?
I do, actually. I do have D&D. Do I have it here is the question. I have the D&D, the dragon, the ampersand.
Oh,
Here we
okay.
go, Chris. Let's do this. Go ahead and let's we'll just have that there.
Oh, there you go.
I've got bins.
Yeah, you got
wow.
stuff.
I've got bins to dig through. Oh, here's the new one. That's gonna be a hot one.
Ooh,
Oh,
that's nice.
Yeah, I can. And I'll do a different colorway where it's white with blue lettering.
Oh, cool.
So everyone, I always have different colorways of 90% of them that I make. Like I've got a DC in white, and I've got DC in blue.
Nice.
So Age of Apocalypse.
I definitely need to pick
This
up
is a new one. That's
Oh,
a new
wow.
one. If you're a metal fan, Ghost. That was a commission. If somebody commissions something from me, I usually make whatever I can fit on the bed on the plate, and I'll see how they do at a show. And these did really, really well at the last show at RetroCon. So we've got Cobra, la 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 la.
Nice. Did you have you done Invincible?
I've not done Invincible. I have to do a couple of them. So I have to do Invincible. I have to do Sandman, and I have to do Lord of the Rings. Those are two three that have been requested several times. So Trevor actually wants a Lord of the Rings, among a couple other people want it. So I said, all right, I'll do it. And then I got fight. These are really fun for practical effects. Like if you've got
I've seen
collectibles figures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you the one that you have one that says Fatality too?
I do. Yep.
Yeah, I think I saw that in somebody's photo.
Yeah, that's I have the whole set of Mortal Kombat. I have Finish Him, Finish Her, Fatality versus
That's awesome.
Fight, Mortal Kombat Dragon. So I have a whole set because somebody was a big Mortal Kombat collector. And again, they you need the Mortal Kombat signs, like the actual signs for like practical effects. So I was like, all right, that's cool. So I'll do that. So like there's Fight.
Nice.
All right.
That's
so
Peanut Butter Bandit's asking if you're going to do one for the Cyberzoic
line. Sure, why not? For you, PB, I will do it.
Okay.
PB is
folks,
I've known him for a really long time, since I was like just starting. So he's a great dude. He's got a really cool collection.
My problem is that I know I need a Batman sign from you, but you've got so many good ones that I don't know which one to get.
There's so many Batman signs, dude. There's so many. Like when people wanted Batman, I was like, yeah, I'll do Batman. Which one you want? 66, 70, 80, 89 Batman? Like what Batman do you want? I've got
you even have the Batman Beyond
that one right there.
Yeah, I've got Batman Beyond. Oh, the classic 89.
Yeah.
That's a good one. And then I've got the 70s Batman.
That one's
I even have Harley Quinn.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I just noticed.
So yeah, I'm
got a
over
Nightwing one too. That's cool.
250. What's that?
I said I just noticed you had a Nightwing one as well, which is really cool.
Yep. That was a commission for a guy in Canada. He asked, and I remember all this stuff. I hate that I remember all this. I know where all my signs came from. It's crazy. I have this Rain Man mentality. I remember where they all came from. This guy from Canada, huge Batman fan. He wanted the whole Bat family. So he wanted Nightwing, the Drake, Batgirl. I don't know. There's 6 of them he wanted. So I did them all, and then that was it. I shipped them up to Canada, and but awesome. I still offer it to other people. It's fun.
All right.
So Kyle did not, to answer Trevor's question, Kyle did not commission that Ghost sign. It's funny. Kyle from Super 7.
Okay.
In fact, my friend, a very good friend of mine, asked for the Ghost sign. So I made him the Ghost sign, and I posted it knowing that Kyle was going to flip his lid when he saw it. So I posted it, and within under 10 minutes, Kyle DMs me, and he's like, I need that Ghost sign. I was like, boy, you are so easy, dude. Like you go right into my trap. He goes, you knew. I was like, I knew immediately you were going to jump on that. So very funny.
Well, if you ever do an Ahsoka or Rogue specifically, I will be
Oh,
all over those. So you
I
asked about
have
the
Rogue
little.
designed already.
Okay. You asked
Yeah.
about little shelves. I have like on one of my across above my TV, I have like a huge stretch of stuff, and I have a mixture of like modern stuff. Like I've got the Thundercats, but then I've got like the old school Scythe behind him. I've got a couple of the modern GI Joe classified, and then I've got some of the remake 3 3/4 ones, and then some like army ants and snorks and just all sorts of various
Nice.
things, you know.
Sparks. That's good.
But for Rogue, Ahsoka, and Wonder Woman, I have like specific shelves where I get a whole variety of stuff. So I'll have like, you know, a pop, an action figure, the Lego minis, you know, all the different
Right.
things, you know, just for that specific, and Raphael from the Turtles. So like all
Mm-hmm.
those are kind of like the 4 characters I chase stuff for.
It's awesome.
And they'll have a variety of stuff. So yeah,
Yeah.
Rogue and Ahsoka for sure. I would totally be all over those.
I'll see what I can do. I've got a lot of personal commissions for Legions Con, but I'll see if I can fit you in, get some Ahsoka. Because again, it's not just for you, right? Other people will want it. And that's what I tell people. Like if it's something that I think is going to do well, it gets higher on my list. If it's
Sure.
something like, you know, it's such a niche thing like Visionaries, you know, like what? Or Centaurians, you know what I mean? Like an old school thing like that, or Garfield. Like I'll put it on my list, but it's not at the high end. But Ahsoka's hot right now, right? So like when I did the Mandalorian and I did Mando and I did do I have that one here? So like I did the Mandalorian and I did it in this chrome.
Oh,
right?
nice.
So it got like super duper popular. And then I did the Mudhorn as well. So I have the Mudhorn in chrome as well. So those were really popular because of the show. So Ahsoka is a smart move to do that, right? And then Rogue, I already have because somebody commissioned. He wanted the intro, the names from the cartoon, right?
Okay.
So here I am watching the YouTube channel, pausing it, and then trying to draw Cyclops and drawing like ones that you can't find like actual comic titles for. So like Gambit, you could find he had a comic, but Rogue and Cyclops and Nightcrawler, like so now I'm sitting there like drawing it, looking, trying to make it. So I have Rogue already, so I can throw that on the printer for you.
All
That'll
right,
be fun.
Very cool.
Let's see what we got for. We've got 13
Battle Beast. I
entries.
don't have Battle Beast. I
got-
have Muscle.
We got
go on.
24 people, 13 entries. So let's throw in your hashtag DBmakes. I'm sorry, DBlake Makes, and get entered for this drawing.
And we're giving away, or he's giving away rather, the Cabal
Mythic Legions Cabal
logo
sign.
Yep.
So hashtag DBblakes, and we'll spin that wheel in a minute here.
And I will pull
And we
this.
can either ship it to you, or you can pick it up at Legions Con if you're coming. That would obviously be better because then it's the reason for you to come to my table.
So this is.
But if you're not coming to Legions Con, I'll ship it.
This is the link that pulls up on the Instagram when you go to it if you want to place an order for one of these. So just wanted to kind of scroll through some of these. This is really cool over here.
The Orin amulet, yeah, that was fun.
There's
the Bat family.
There's the Batman ones. This one's really cool.
Arkham.
And even got like the Red Robin. This is cool. Biker Mice.
Yeah.
There's the Cabal.
There's the D&D.
That cap had to be a lot of work doing the 3 colors on each.
It's a little tedious, but I have that nice little that little bar across the middle that holds them.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. Some little tricks, you find little tricks that work to hold the paint in.
Yeah, this is cool.
But there's the D&D. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be coming for one of those too. I'm going to be negative before I even get to the show.
That's my problem. I'm always
Duke Nukem. I wouldn't have expected that. That's cool. Wow.
That was a commission. That was one of the first commissions a guy asked for.
These are neat. These
and then
flash ones.
started branching into horror, and I started with comics and action figures, and now I'm into horror. I'm into the anime. I'm into pop culture. I'm into video games.
Okay, I don't know what this is next to the Cobra
That's
logo.
that's the Ninja. That's the G.I. Joe, the Ninja Clan.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Or Arashikage.
Oh,
There's
those
a different
Ghost Rider
gargoyles. I
ones.
do those in
This Ghost Rider one, the white and the blue, that is awesome right here.
Thank you. Did you see the gargoyles I do in stone?
Oh,
that's
nice.
cool.
Yeah, that would probably be the one I'd have to get, Jesse.
That was fun. I got that textured spray paint, that stone spray paint that puts the finish on.
Nice.
And I was like, oh, this would be cool to use. And I sprayed it on. And if you've ever used that stuff, it just comes out in clumps and looks terrible. It looks like you literally sprinkled like pepper all over the thing. And it looks like crap. And I was like, man, this looks stupid. I ruined this. This is so stupid. What a dumb idea. And then I left it and I came back the next day and it had settled. And I was like, oh, this is amazing. This is so I'm like, this is my go-to now. So much fun. All the Ghostbusters. Gotham City Sirens.
I don't want to say the Furious 4, like their shirt logo design from last year. The one that's like it's like all four of them merged into one head.
Oh, yeah. I wonder if I could do that. I'll talk to the guys. Maybe if I can make it happen.
They would. I mean, they would probably get
Iceman one is cool. I
that
love
went to
the
Japan
blending on that Iceman one.
Yeah, that was a pain in the ass, but that went to a guy in Japan. His name is Bobby, actually, and he goes by Bobby Drake Photography. And
cool.
So he likes.
How do you get the
gem? Oh God, what a pain in the ass to feed.
Like on that JoJo's there.
Yeah, that JoJo's is tough, man. Like I used to like tape it off, like mask it, but then you get too hard of a line, right? So I've figured out how to cut the piece of cardboard like on a curve, hold it about an inch above my piece, and then take the spray paint and let it just kind of hit the cardboard and then go onto the sign, and a little bit gets underneath the cardboard and gives me a really nice gradient. And it's very tedious. So that's how I do like all of the gradients, whether it's JoJo's or Back to the Future, Indiana Jones. I just hold the cardboard up about an inch above it, give it a spray in that direction, and just kind of let it air go underneath it a little bit.
So I need to get that Justice League one. That's a must-have.
And I've probably got 50 more that aren't on here that I need to update. I just haven't had a chance to take the pictures of them all.
And there's all the Mortal Kombat ones. That's cool.
Another question: have you done a Godzilla?
Just the Japanese, the Gojira sign.
Okay,
I have one here.
That's
awesome. It was up above.
Both those Plunderlings are cool.
Oh, the
Curtis is already eyeing up signs for figures he doesn't have yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you got Leland.
Yeah. Yes, he commissioned one, so I gave that to him at ToyCon. I did Leland's. That was fun, trying to figure that one out.
I might send you one to take your time on.
I'm here for. I'm glad to hook people up, and you know, I want these on everyone's shelves. I want everybody to have these because they just
superpowers.
When you get one, when you get one and you put it on your shelf, you just look at it and you're like, yeah, that's what my shelf needed. You know, that's what it was missing.
If I was, I'm not collecting Thundercats, but if I was, this would be a must right here.
That was probably the third sign I ever made. And one of the third designs, probably third design. And it's just is one of my favorites to this day. That chrome is just so good.
Question: if I bought a Super 7 one from you and I snapped it on the air, would you be upset?
I would.
I would not. I would not. They're very tough to snap, though. I'm going to tell you. I use like a 30% infill, so they definitely are pretty tough.
Oh, the Toys R Us one. Yeah.
All right.
That one is a sleeper hit.
That one's great. Let's run this wheel. I made
that never thinking it was going to do well. And
all right, I'll remove this. Let's run the wheel.
We got.
Let's go.
20 out of 24.
Oh, it's funny. That's good.
No. No. We can go back and look. Folks are waiting. I'm waiting. I want to spin the wheel. Let's do it. Spin the wheel. 20
They're tired of listening to me.
5 more seconds. And Spinning the wheel.
Big money, no Miami's, and stop.
Yeah, that stone gargoyles one was cool.
Hey!
Peanut butter.
Like he needs more of my science, but congrats, dude.
And now you can pick it up at Legion's Con when he talks to the wife
he
and
better.
let you go.
Now you got to come. Now you got to come.
There you
for it.
go. All right.
Yeah,
Congrats, Peanut Butter Bandit. Just reach out to on Instagram.
Yeah,
Or
reach
you
out
guys-
to me. That's all.
Cool.
I'll take care of him. We already have a chat going. We chat on the side, so
Okay.
he has a haunted house.
Ooh.
We talk about
Sean,
his unwanted guest.
Sean would love
Oh.
one of these, Jesse. These Venom ones.
Who?
Sean, isn't he a big Venom guy? Scavarna.
No.
Oh, I thought he liked Venom.
You're like, no.
No.
Oh,
That Walking Dead one was fun to do.
dude, Wizard. Hell yeah.
Bro, somebody commissioned that because they had a cover of Wizard of Rogue holding the Sentinel Killer. That old issue. Was it the Sentinel
Oh,
Killer?
yeah.
The Sentinel head, right? So he had that issue of Rogue holding that, and he had the figure and the head, and he wanted a wizard to put over that. So he had the book, and then he had recreated the book cover using that wizard logo.
That is awesome.
It blows my mind what people want and people use these for, man. I'm telling you. One guy collects movie props, and he has the entire Guardians of the Galaxy signed on Star-Lord's jacket, and he put that in a shadow box, and he wanted a big Guardians of the Galaxy sign for the corner of his shadow box.
That's cool.
So
Oh, wow.
he commissioned that. You know, he also has he's got Negan's bat from Walking Dead, and that's where that Walking Dead came from.
Oh, wow.
Because he wanted Negan's bat signed by Jeffrey Dean Morgan. He had that, and he wanted a Walking Dead sign for it. So it's just really amazing what people use these for.
I'm gonna need to get this Gambit one for Jesse so he can put it next to his Rogue sign. So
No. You're dead to me.
Come on, mon chéri.
yeah, these are cool, man.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
I'm definitely gonna go broke at your table this year. So
Get there
right.
early, because last year I got hammered last year, and I was almost sold out by Saturday night. So
oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm coming more prepared this year. I was not prepared for last year. I'm
Yeah.
trying to be more prepared this year because I got hit so hard last year. By Sunday, I was just kind of like twiddling my thumbs. Like I was just like, okay, I can go home now. I only have like a dozen signs left. Shooting a shelf sign, we can make that happen.
That's what I was talking about. I'm gonna I'll show you that.
Message me.
No,
I'd love to make
it'll
that
be
happen.
absolutely no rush. We've got a new version of it it's not as
Okay.
complicated as the one that's on the screen.
All right. I enjoy the challenge.
I just haven't gotten around to updating that little bug yet.
Of course, now that we know what we know, we're gonna have to put some gradient colors or something in there.
I can do whatever you want. I'll figure it out. I will figure it out. Where there's a will, there's a way. Like certain ones are a pain in the ass. I'm not going to lie. Like Lord of the Rings, trying to, because I tried to do it in one cohesive unit, one piece, right? And when you have separated text, trying to do that discreetly and hide the letters, like even Guardians of the Galaxy, like you can see, like I do have some connecting pieces behind, but I do them black. So I paint them black so that they're really well hidden and you don't really notice it when you're further away. But something that's far away, like Lord of the Rings, has definitely been giving me a little bit of a challenge. I'm going to make it happen.
Which version of the Lord of the Rings are you doing? Were the long one or the stacked one?
The stacked one.
Okay.
Yeah. I find that longer signs or whatever plaques, they kind of take away a little bit from the shelf. Like I want to do Ghostbusters, the full text, and it's a little busy. Even the Transformers one to an extent is big, and it takes a lot of space. And I always want these to be an accent to your collection, not the, just that focal point that brings it all together. I don't want to take away from the figures too much, So the Lord of the Rings, I'm going to try to keep it stacked, but then that also is like, you don't want to go too high either. Right. So you gotta play with the aspect a little bit. It's also easier to connect the letters when they're stacked because you can fiddle around with it and you can close them up a little bit closer and overlap them just a little bit. So
Okay. Very cool.
Trial and error.
I just noticed the Dukes of Hazzard one. That one's pretty cool.
Oh,
too.
yeah. That was fun. I did that specifically for RetroCon because the Dukes of Hazzard were there.
Right.
And Saturday, I didn't sell a single freaking one. I was like, are you kidding me? I made these for this show and nobody's buying these. And Sunday I sold like 3 or 4 of them, which justified it a little bit. But, you know, you can never tell, dude. You know, the shows I was doing in Tom's River had wrestlers there. They had Jimmy the Hart was there. They had Jerry Lawler there. They had this, not Destruction. What were those guys?
Demolition.
Demolition. Thank you. Demolition were there. The Bushwhackers were there, right? So like I made AEW. Yeah, I made AEW. I made WWE, WWF. I made all these wrestling signs for that show, and I never sold a single wrestling sign at that show.
That's crazy.
You never know. You never know. You try to play to your audience, and it's just you can't. So that's why you have to have a whole bunch of these things. You know, that's why I bring 800 signs because I might sell all of my X-Men signs. You know,
for the wrestling one, you just need to graffiti tag like some folding chairs with the wrestler stuff, and you know. And then the fans can buy those and beat each other up with them.
You know it'd be cool is like some logos for the figure obscura figures, like a headless horseman or something like that. So like you could put on display with your figure obscura. That'd be pretty neat.
I'm looking at this right now. Like
that would be pretty neat.
Yeah.
You want to kill me, right? Like that's Nate,
you're gonna want to kill someone when you do that one.
It's the hardest stuff, man, to copy any of his stuff. There's something else I had. One of my sticker logos, I did a treat yourself in the style of NWO. I did TYS, and one of the guys I know that does photography and like wrestling figure photography, he took my sign and he's got one of the fans in the stands holding up the treat yourself that looks like NWO. It's like awesome. The perfect scale. The perfect scale for the figures. It was pretty cool. I was like, that was clever.
That's awesome.
Yeah, obscura signs is not a bad idea. Horseman, Red Death, Monkey King. We'll see. But you see again, that goes. There's a rabbit hole, man. You can just keep going. You just keep going and going and going. Like I'm doing
especially
sports,
the holiday ones. Like I know I've seen a lot of people that they're like with Headless Horseman, with Father Christmas and stuff. To where they're including it in their holiday decorations in their house. Yeah. Like I've seen a lot of people say like, well, my wife won't let me have any figures in the living room, but when it's Halloween time, I can have this out. So like something like that would be cool to have, something with it.
You could keep it simple. Just do the figure obscura logo itself with the key and do the different colors for the different characters.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah. I like it. That's what I love. I love all of the suggestions, like maybe I have Smurfs. Like why? Like because there are collectors out there that collect Smurfs, man. Like
there you go.
It's just, so, if there's a need, if there's a want, I want to make it.
I tell you what, I know somebody said it earlier about Battle Beast, but that would be I've heard a lot of people talking about them lately, and there's people doing customs in the Cabal, and even Joe Vassapolo was, I think he was on Euro Legions, and they asked like, what's one property that you wish Four Horsemen could get their hands on, and he said Battle Beast. Man, I tell you what, if they did a 6-inch Battle Beast line, I'd be broke as hell. So
easily,
yeah.
I was gonna say you got Animal Warriors of the Kingdom.
Yeah,
for a Battle Beast knockoff 6-inch line, it's like
there's a new Kickstarter.
It's not Creature Commandos, but it's something like that, where it's like Battle Beast, but it's with like a C or something.
Is that Kickstarter going yet, or last I saw?
I'm not sure. I just saw it like I was like, that one. Like I don't know, the legalities of that one seems sticky.
Yeah.
All messy.
I do have Emil is working on a Battle Beast custom for me
no.
And
my God.
I told him what I wanted, like what figure the tribute I wanted, and I paid for it, but I told him I didn't want to see it or even know like what parts he's using or anything till Legion's Con. So
Amazing.
I can't wait to see that.
That's going to be amazing.
I think that's the first time I've heard you say what it was even in, what realm it was in. So
yeah,
I can't wait to see that.
Yeah.
If he finds a way to get like a little hologram sticker on the chest.
Yeah, I'm not sure how he's going to do that, but
what element would you want? You want fire, water, wood?
Man, I don't know. Probably fire. I think fire was usually my favorite, but I like being surprised on those. Like those, that was the coolest thing about it. Like you would get like a shark one or something. You'd be like, this guy's definitely water. And then you would rub his chest and you'd be like wood. And you're like, how the fuck is a shark wood? I don't know, but it's awesome. You know?
Absolutely.
Well, you know, knowing Emil, like you'll probably do like a swap
interchangeable.
If it's like a cosmic torso, you know, where he can swap it out and you get to pick which one you want to put in.
He's so extra.
I'm excited for it though.
That's awesome.
Yeah, exactly, Steve-O. They're probably like ramen toys.
Yeah, just ask for forgiveness instead of permission.
Yeah,
so,
or just you know, don't acknowledge.
I'll be honest, I have no idea who even has the Battle Beast license or if they would even care. So
one
I
of the big
Evie says
go ahead.
I was saying PB says 4-H food fighters, but there's a guy that just did that Kickstarter or whatever that has those they're like food fighters, the ones the office fighters or something. There's like a stack of potato chips.
Yeah,
and then there's
shut down. I think they canceled that. I'm not sure if that went
really
through. Yeah. I don't think for any legal reasons. I think they just didn't have enough interest, but yes, I rubbed the shark and got wood.
Looks like Takara Tomy owns the rights to Battle Beasts still, and because like Battle Beasts were originally a subset of Transformers,
correct? Yeah,
or tied into that world, and Image just relaunched the whole Cybertron universe. They did a series called Void Rivals, and then Transformers and G.I. Joe and all of that related stuff is building in that.
So you're saying there's a chance?
So. I mean, it's Image. There's not a lot of Image toys that gets made unless it's through like Diamond Select or some of the other, you know, like 2 Invincible figures every like year and a half at this point.
Yeah.
They do a Silverhawk sign in Vac Metal, and I've got it, Trevor. I know you're trying.
No, we're gonna take Curtis. I'm gonna take you off the screen if you touch anything Silverhawks.
Yeah, Trevor's seen that. Took him off.
It's cool.
You did it.
I'm not gonna do anything bad to it. It's amazing.
No, that's actually, you could snap that. That's a little fragile.
It's one of those, like you said, that the letters are barely connected, so you've got to kind of hide that. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Did you like peel that off the back of a Chrysler or something?
And I just knocked over like 5 Silverhawks. So
what'd you do with the one you snapped in half?
I glued it back together and put it in my display. It was for show.
Instant regret.
Yeah.
Instant regret.
Yeah.
Damn it. Why'd I do that? I'm so mad at
It's all theatrics. So
I know.
I'm just waiting for them to give me a copper kid.
We'll never make Vac Metal. We can't do it. The technology's not there.
Yeah.
Hey, here's Vac Metal.
Yeah, the technology's not there. Next thing you know, they're putting together the $6 million man. We can rebuild them better, faster, stronger.
We have the technology.
Yeah.
We got the Cat's Lair too.
Yeah.
That Cat's Lair. I don't know what I'm going to do with that thing.
Now that they got that big Cobra.
Did you get one?
Not yet, but I might. I don't know. I have the whole line, so, and I really want a Thunder Tank too, but yeah, space is a problem.
Yeah, those things are huge. Got to see that open on display at PowerCon. It was ridiculous.
Did you guys see that new Cobra vehicle? The big giant one that they just showed for
the helicopter?
No.
Oh no.
Yeah, the mothership.
3 3/4.
I don't know how big that thing is, but it's got to be huge.
Oh, that's a 3 3/4 scale?
I don't think it is because
it's 3 3/4 because it's meant it's made for the reaction line. but
Oh,
reaction
it was
is the
made
same
for their.
size as 3 3/4, so your classic Joes will fit with it.
Gotcha. I thought it was for their Ultimates line because that's the only ones I knew that they were doing. Gotcha. Well, then
Nope,
that's
yeah,
not
they've
near
got
as
the
That was
big
reaction.
as I
the
thought it was.
It's like 3
that was
feet
rumor
wide.
Cat Slayer. Everyone thought the Cat Slayer was going to be for the reaction line, and then they like, no, it's an Ultimates, and we're like, what?
Who was it? Hedgehog and Rygon were talking about it on Saturday Day Live yesterday, and I saw somewhere that it was either over or close to 3 feet wide, edge to edge. So
Yeah, I probably missed that
huge
part because
for
when they
3/4
start
figure.
talking about Lion Flynn, I just tune out. So
Well, he wasn't at New York Comic Con. You'll be happy to hear.
He
Lion
was,
Brian.
wasn't he? I thought
I don't.
Hedgehog said
Well, he
he
wasn't
talked
there when
to him.
I was there. Oh, did
Okay.
he? Well, he wasn't there when I was there.
Hedgehog interviewed him there.
Oh, well, okay then. He wasn't there when because I was like, is Brian here today?
Oh,
And they're like, he's not here.
I
And was
think
like,
he
oh,
was there
Friday.
he was only there on Thursday because he had a special.
Oh, okay.
He was doing like they offered some sort of like legal classes and being a lawyer at the con. So being there or was that Toy Fair? No, it was New York Comic Con.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was. I was like, what? They're offering legal classes at New York Comic Con? But it was like some special.
Yeah, I went to the booth. I was going
to
to give him a Super 7 sign. I was like, here, I want you to have this. And he's not here,
nice.
and I can't trust anyone else to not give it to him. So
they offered legal classes, and Ramen said, no, thank you. We're not going to that.
Yeah, you have to watch the bit with Hedgehog. He was talking about it. It sounded interesting, but because he was doing the class and it was there, he was able to then go in and walk the show floor and everything for a little bit.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So
yeah, it was just Friday. Good show. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. You go.
I've never been.
It's fun, but I only go on Fridays, but then I come home and I see all the posts from everybody else. And I'm like, oh, I missed that. How did I miss that? Oh my God, I missed that too. Like one day really is not enough. Like one day is enough to go do your list of things, but not to look around. So
right.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, that's the same
better because
Legion's Con.
Legion's Con's that way. Like you could walk around the show 10 times and each time see something new that you missed the first times.
Yeah. Especially if you're at a table and you don't have anybody to help you. Yeah. I'm not complaining about me. I'm saying you said you didn't have anybody to help. So
I know. No, we'll be good. I'm fine. Again, I always find a way to dip out.
And I want to clear that up. Last year I did have help. So it wasn't that I didn't have anyone to help. I don't know if it's ever come across that way. I did have people helping me. I just refused to leave the table. I couldn't walk away from the stuff. So
I understand that. Yeah.
That's all on me.
It's tough. That's your baby. You want to make sure everything goes. You can answer any questions somebody has. And, you don't, even though somebody might know everything about your stuff and how you price it and how they're done and how to hang them up and everything else, you're just like, that's mine. That's my baby. Like I have a script basically, it's in my head. I can rattle it out.
Totally.
That's great.
Cool. So we got less than 4 weeks from now, the show will be over, and whoever's hanging out Sunday night will be hanging at the hotel.
Speaking of which, are we doing a live show on Sunday since we're both staying till Monday?
Why not? We'll do something.
Yeah. We'll have to figure out if there's somebody that's staying Sunday night that wants to hang out with us and be on the show. I don't think we have a guest scheduled, do we?
Nope. I know a couple people that are staying till Sunday.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. Or they're staying till Monday, I should say.
Do a live show. We could do it like Legion's Lounge did last year where they all gathered around one computer.
Right.
We'll figure something out. Yeah.
What a cluster.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, that's an off-world week too. And,
All right.
Either of you guys going to intern?
I am not. My son and my wife are. So I'll be dropping them off, but I won't be there for that. But me and Jesse both went last year, and super fun experience.
How about you?
What about you?
Nope, not me. I'd love to, but it's just time off of work and everything else, and it's a tough schedule,
Yeah.
Because I have a day job. This isn't my job. This is my still hobby, but got to get out.
If you get a chance and you can make it, it's Curtis and I were just
I'd
talking
love
on the Legions class show last night about it. It's definitely worth going. If you can go, you'll probably get someone to go with you at that one because you get to bring a +1. So
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've watched the streaming every year. I watch, the footage and the streams and everything else. I'm like, God, that looks like so much fun. Like, I would love to.
Oh, for G-Con. Yeah.
I told
the releases and giving out all-in waves. I'm like, what?
Yeah, that was crazy.
I told Trevor I'd carry his film or whatever it is that he does, try to help out if he wanted me to be his assistant during intern. But
his film, what is this, the 1930s?
I don't know.
I was wondering the same thing.
What photographers do.
He puts the big black cloak over, and he's got the plate, and he's putting the.
I just basically
flash up.
Powder keg.
Basically offered to be Trevor's bitch, just to.
You can't move for 45 seconds. Hold that position.
Oh, really? Still.
He's gonna sit me in the corner and just make me look at Frazetta pictures for 5 hours.
Nobody puts baby in the corner.
Carry the watermelon.
All right, I want you to look at this picture and tell me what you appreciate about it.
Yeah. There'll be a quiz on it later.
Right.
You'll stare at it long enough, you'll turn into what's his name from Mallrats, and you're like, I can't see it.
Oh, Willem?
It's not a schooner, it's a sailboat.
Yeah, you dumb bastard. Schooner is a sailboat.
You dumb bastard.
I'm Jersey, so I get to be a part of all of that.
I love when he sees Shannon Doherty and he goes, Brenda? And that's like my favorite moment in that whole movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, she hits him.
Oh, it's such a good movie.
I love Mallrats.
Carver will be there until Monday.
Oh, nice.
Your show is shaping up. Your Sunday show is shaping up already.
He's working on a custom thing for me right now. So
boy, you got custom. Everybody working on custom.
Yeah. Well, this is actually for something I'm making for somebody for Legions Con, and I needed a light source, and Brian's definitely the light guy. So yeah, anything like that. And I was like, hey, do you have anything that'll work for this? And he's like, not right now, but we can make something. So yeah, he's working on it.
That's amazing.
Trevor, I don't know what you carry your film or your lenses, trees. I don't know what. Yeah, whatever. Whatever it is you need help with.
But I gotta say, it's really fun that we can tap our colleagues and our friends in this industry for things. Like you're working on something for somebody else, but you don't have the skill or the what you need for it. So you can go to Carver to get what you need on that. I have people that do dios and they reach out to me and like, hey, I'm doing like a Ghost Rider demo with this big statue on it. I want a Ghost Rider sign in the front. So I send that and he's sending it to somebody else, but he's outsourcing parts as well. So it's really fun to be able to be a part of those projects.
Yeah, it's a cool community in that way. Like I know Jesse and I both reached out to Alexander Deshaw, who's in the chat here, and about some dios and kind of pricing and things like that. And I've reached out to Brian Almeida before for stuff that my wife's been working on for dios, and just like, hey, here's how we did this. Like, do you have any advice? And and then obviously when it comes to customs and painting and things like that, yeah, there's just everybody in the community is just so great with just sharing knowledge and stuff. It's really one of a kind. So
yeah. And going back to what we were saying before, like a lot of people don't hide their techniques. Like Brian is one that just like for real just will show you every step of the way of how he makes his dios.
Yeah.
You'll never be able to replicate it ever because he just has that muscle memory and skill. But the fact that he's literally showing you every single step of the process is like, it's just amazing. He's like, you can do this too, go for it.
Yeah. It's like, it's almost like those, like how to draw a dog. I saw you picture with Frank Cho.
Oh, do this. Oh yeah.
Like Frank Cho, where he's drawn the wiener dog, where it's like, start with a circle, draw another circle, connect them. And then it's like all these like real rough things. And then he's like, then add some details. And it's like a fully rendered, like photo real dog.
Perfect dog. Yeah. Photorealistic, yeah.
Brian does that, but like you see all the steps. It's not like a jump. And it's
Yeah.
like, man, I can't even get from 1 to 2 with what he's doing, and I make dials.
Right.
Well, and it's
Yeah.
like just seeing the creativity. Like we were talking about Sig earlier, you know, we had him on, and like seeing some of the things that he's combined or used from other lines and really weird. I mean, he had a droid that was using a wing adapter for a head. And it's like, who would think
Who would have thought that?
Wing adapter for a head, you know? And it's like,
but it's so smart.
Yeah.
It's so clever.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's like, so, you know, just be able to look at things and see stuff that's not there is really cool. So,
yeah. I mean, I just saw somebody, I forgot who it was in the group here in the Cabal that made an adapter to put the mace end on the guns for the Cosmic Legions.
Oh,
and it's just
Lennon,
was it Len?
Anthony? Yeah.
Anthony, was it? Yeah. So smart. Just this little piece that also makes a cool little snub-nosed barrel, but you can put the mace on. It looks like this amazing like silencer amplifier on the gun. You're just like, God, that was so simple, but it's just so smart, you know?
I almost lost that at RetroCon because it looked like a piece of like, because I was helping set up the Wolf King table, and I forget what was moving. It just looked like a piece that had like broken off of a print. Like it looked like a support or another thing
or something. Yeah.
And Len was like, "Hey, did you guys see this like little thing?" I'm like, "No." I was like, "There's these pieces," and then I eventually found it, but it was like, oh man, I was like, why would you just throw that in the bin with all the random other parts? It's so tiny.
Especially since easy. You're just like, oh, it must have fallen off something.
Steve says I can ask if Dubon is gray or blue. I can. That's a good point, though. I mean, I wouldn't ask that, but like if Trevor needed me to hold the blue lighting, you know, while he does pictures, I can do that. Like, so he doesn't have to prop the blue lights up. I can just like hold them, you know.
I'm gonna out you right here, Curtis.
You could be a human tripod.
Our live reaction to opening that Orc Grunt, you said the armor was kind of bluish, or had a bluish tint, and it's almost spot on the exact match to Dubon.
Oh yeah, it definitely is. I mean, listen, I wasn't one of the ones complaining about Trevor's stuff. I think Trevor's stuff is awesome. I just love giving him shit.
I was gonna say, but yeah, you like a terrier. You've latched onto that bone. You're not letting go.
Yeah, but you know, Trevor gives it back to me. So
die on that hill.
It's a love-hate relationship. I love Trevor. He hates me. It's, you know, so.
I gotta say though, I don't feel there's any animosity in the group. Like, I know you're joking, but I just feel like it's just so much. It's just a friggin' love fest, man. I mean, like the Cabal, there's nobody that's just like, I never hear about catty stuff going on, or, you know, don't deal with this guy, he's kind of shady, or anything like that. Everybody's just totally stand up and just really, really cool people. So, you know, that's another thing that we've got. I mean, you can go in those Mythic Legions, those Marvel Legends chat rooms or rooms, Facebook groups. You can go into Turtles groups. You can go into SHF groups or Storm groups, right? And you're immediately ostracized. You're immediately, put into a bin, or, you know, oh, you only collect, Mortal Kombat figures, but you don't collect this, or, you know, you can totally be shadow banned by those groups. But the Cabal is just for everybody, man. Like, and we're over 5,000 strong, and you just never hear a bad thing about anybody in the Cabal. It's just overly welcoming. It's just cool.
Trevor said
you're definitely going now.
Okay, I'll hold your red light. I don't know, whatever light you need. No, you're right. I mean, you know, every now and then you'll see some post about, you know, oh, another wave, I don't have enough money, why do they keep hitting us with all this stuff? Or you know, there was the thing with the shipping,
it only lasted 17 minutes.
I mean, so you'll see some of that, which I think you're going to get that with any group. But you're right, for the most part, it's super positive. And then when it's
not directed at like one person, you know.
And then when you go to LegionCon, it's like it, you know, Jesse said it before, it's like a family reunion or something, you know, like it's just,
it is.
You know, even like you, the show only runs to like 4 or 5, but then you don't want to just like go to your room or go do something, you know, in Jersey. Like you want to hang around all these people and just kind of shoot the shit for the next, you know, 6-7 hours. And
I mean, I know you said you live in New Jersey. My family's from New Jersey, so I feel like I can say this. I mean, what are you going to do? in Jersey other than hang out at the
Wow.
convention, right?
Especially that area of Jersey, like North Jersey. Like there's
I mean, there's some good
all
food. There's some
hotels.
good pizza. You know, there's
Food,
good
that's
stuff
it.
around.
I'm supposed
Yeah.
to say the jerk things. You're supposed to say the nice things, Jesse.
Look,
Well, you know, it's funny. Last year I tried to suggest everyone go to Medieval Times after Saturday because it was 5 minutes away. I was like, let's all go to Medieval
wow.
Times. Like, we can bring our figures. Like, let's bring our knights and orcs, right? And we'll set them up on the thing while we root for the Red Knight or whatever. And, you know, take some cool pictures with the knights in the background fighting, and you have our knights in the front. I thought that was really going to be really cool, you know? And everyone's like, it's like $70 a person. I was like,
yeah. They're like, yeah, but we got this lobby, and it's got alcohol, and we got gummies.
Yeah.
And
No, Greg, my point, Greg, was that's why Legion's Con's always going to be in New Jersey. Everybody's like, oh, have it in California, have it here, have it there. Obviously, it's their backyard, it's their home. I'm not promoting. I'm not trying to hype Pennsylvania this time. I did with Curtis a couple weeks ago when he was ranting about driving through the 9.5 hour,
it's
5
terrible.
hour trip across Pennsylvania. It is a long state to cross, no doubt.
If you're going west to east or east to west.
Yeah, if you're going across 80, like forget it.
Yeah.
I'm not. Look, I live here. I like this state, but I'm not trying to say anything other than, you know, Pennsylvania's a little better than Jersey because it's not Jersey. But that's like, you know, when I lived in Missouri, you know, Arkansas was the joke. You know, every state's got like that the state next to them
neighboring.
For some reason.
I don't see them moving it terribly far away from the studio, but I could see them doing it in like a neighboring state. Like I could see them doing it like in New York or you know, possibly even Pennsylvania or something. If they found like a really good venue and it just was, you know, ideal, I could see that. But you're right. I mean,
they have to be close enough to restock though between days.
Right.
And
I mean,
going into New York,
it would have to be
where
something
they're at
that's still within like an hour and a half,
insanity.
2 hours. So
yeah, if they were to go anywhere in New York from where they are at the studio, that would be multiple hour trip. Trying to get anywhere.
Not really. I mean, like
have you driven into New York?
Where they were at last year, where
Lincoln Tunnel,
where the
miles don't count when you're going into New York.
Yeah, where the venue was last year, we were like 30-minute drive from New York. So, but that's, you know, that's what the map thing says. That doesn't include, I guess, traffic and stuff. So
yeah, I'm not saying I go there a lot, but every time I've driven through New York, it is, you know, in that area, it has taken hours longer than the GPS says it will.
Yeah, god awful. It's terrible. Well, I've done it.
We're gonna definitely have fun, and it's got a pub this year, and it's got more room.
Yes,
yeah, it's gonna be good.
And see, my idea for the pub is every table should have their own, like, you know, there should be an orc table and a dwarf table, right?
Oh, that's a good
and everyone
idea.
Everyone's just going to get drunk and belligerent and say orcs are better and then goblins are better, right?
It'll be like the scene in Knight's Tale.
And then there's just going to be a big, you know, a big bar fight between, you know, dwarves and the kings under the mountain, and then, you know,
the Pope might be French, but Jesus is English.
Yeah. So you're gonna have each table at the pub because it's an old Irish pub or old English pub. Like that would be cool to have. You know, bring your figures and have them all have little pints.
I just want to see. I just want to see the Euro Legions guys sitting in the back, like doing like the radio and out, like the sports announcers from Ted Lasso.
Yeah,
like, you know, talking into their mouth mics.
My Knight's Tale, my favorite 2 words are beyond contestation. I just love that. Like that gets me every time. I'm like, man, sometime in my life I'm gonna be able to say beyond contestation.
You got that in your back pocket.
There's gonna be a time it's gonna come up and I'm gonna be dude, here it is. All right. Well, few weeks, we'll see it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Do you have any other shows or anything coming up besides Legion?
No, I need to focus on making. I just moved. I just set my printer up, one of my 3 printers up last week, just so I could start getting some things printed. So I'm just trying to focus on making
Gotcha.
as much as I can in the next 4 weeks. So
Cool.
no shows, nothing.
Beautiful.
All right.
But if anybody wants anything, reach out and make it happen.
Beautiful.
Very cool.
Well, we will see you, and we're definitely going to hit up your table because I think we both saw some things tonight we need.
Be hanging out for sure. We might, I love trading. I love trading. Just FYI, I'm always down to trade. I traded with Kingpin a few times last year, and I'm love doing that too. So as maker myself, you guys know what the things are. And
what's a favorite faction, race, style of character?
Ooh, me, I like them all, honestly. I think I'm not actually. I can't. I'm not a big dwarf guy, honestly. Okay. I'm not really big into the dwarves. But I like the orcs and I like the knights. I like the gladiators. Like Vitus and his brother, the other one, the black one. What's his name? I can't remember all their names. Romulus. Romulus and Vitus, right?
Yeah, they're not brothers though.
They're not brothers. You know what I mean? They're basically the same figure. Though.
Is he brothers with Pixis?
I think
there's one of them says Vitus.
One of them mentions a brother. Like
Romulus mentions a brother, which people think might be Gorgo. But I think Vitus and Pixis were brothers.
Yeah, like I got that Gorgo 2-pack. Like that's cool. Aether. I like Legions of Aether. I like the vampires. I'm down with that.
So pretty much anything except the dwarves.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not against dwarves. Like I've got King.
You're not like tossing them or anything.
Yeah, just give them a heave ho. So yeah, I've got Bromden and I had red. What's his name? You know what I'm talking about. Torgen Redfin. Yeah. So I have a couple of those guys.
Cool. Well, I might whip up something, one of the heads, some heads I have to for trade offering.
I'm down with that. I love trading. It's the best thing, especially for makers. We can trade our skills. It's my favorite thing to do.
I would commit to that too, but unfortunately, I've been having a hard time getting to work lately. So, yes, it does say in Pix's bio that he's Vitus's brother. So,
okay.
Well, I'm sorry. Correct myself. It does not say that. It says it's his legendary brother in arms. So, scratch that. Reverse it. So, not an actual brother. Yeah.
Sourdough, accent on the O. Is that what you're going with that? God, I hate that I know that. No, mister. Accent on the O.
Beautiful. Well, we appreciate you being on the show. It's been a lot of fun. We look forward to seeing all the stuff that you're going to be bringing all the fire. And we wish you a lot of luck with the new place and just getting everything set up and unboxed.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Appreciate that. Yeah. I can't wait to get all my figures out on their shelves and in their new home and get making. I got a lot to make in a little bit of amount of time. So every time I hear another week going by and we're at 5 weeks and we're 4 weeks, I get like a pit in my stomach. I'm like,
you got a lot to make, or you've got a lot to DBlake make.
DBlake Makes.
Man, I stopped myself from saying that earlier. Thank you so much for doing that, Curtis.
All right. Well, we're going to put you backstage. If you've got to go, we understand it's late for you, but if you want, you can hang out. And then after we close out the show, we'll be right back with you.
Here.
Yep. Thanks for being on, man. See ya.
All right, everybody.
One more show down towards Legions Con, Jesse.
Absolutely. That was episode, what is this? Episode 40 or 41? I don't even remember what. This is episode 40. It says right at the top of the screen. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you to our first YouTube channel member, Joe Gonzalez. Thank you to everybody that helped get us over 500. We will be doing some sort of giveaway after Legions Con. So after, probably like later November, early December.
Jesse, if somebody wanted to become a member and be cool like Joe, how would you go about doing that?
If I'll get a graphic for us for next week. I
Okay.
forgot to do that tonight. If you go to the channel page, there should be like subscribe or the notification thing, and right next to it should be a little one that says join, and it's got a couple of different tiers that you can choose to be a part of. You get different like emojis or badges as time progresses. The badge will change, showing how long you've been a member and everything.
Oh, you know what? I forgot we had super chats. I could have super chatted tonight.
You could, I mean, you still can. We're still live.
Yeah, we're getting ready to close, but I'm definitely super chatting us next week.
So yes, we do have the super chat feature and all of that fun stuff. I'm not sure, we haven't had them happen yet, I don't think, but it's always there as a possibility going forward. So yes, thanks for everybody for doing that. Thank you very much to Damion for joining us, taking some time out to be with us tonight. It was really cool to get to hear about his process and all that. So make sure you go check out table 42 at Legions Con. Make a plan of what ones you want, and he will probably have them there. Check out his page, DBlake Makes, DBlake Makes on Instagram. And thank you for the giveaway. Congrats!
Oh,
hey,
2 in a row. Boom, boom.
Steve-O. All right, look at that. We got our first super chat. Didn't say anything.
He beat me.
Thank you,
He beat me
Steve-O.
by less than a minute.
And Curtis with test. So thank you very much to our super chatters. This is getting all sorts of emotional tonight. Thank you guys. All right. Next week on Sunday night, 9 p.m., episode 41 of Shooting the Shelf, we have Brad Jones. Oh, wait, that's not the right picture.
Yeah, that
Brad Jones is joining us on Shooting the Shelf next Sunday night. The man asking the hot seat questions is going to be on the hot seat himself next Sunday night. Man, I am really not doing good with these drawings lately. Like, they look good on my iPad, but on here they're not translating.
I like the first one. I think the first one looked more like Brad. Yeah, there you go.
I realize now I didn't color his eyes. They're translucent, so it's just the green and the blue background coming through on his eyes.
Nice.
Oh, look at this. Go ahead.
Another super chat.
We've got Trevor with the $1.90. Thank you very much, Trevor. We're going to have a thank you segment now on the show. So thank you very much, Trevor.
He must be talking to you because, like I said, love-hate relationship. So
he tells me that every week. So I mean, I guess I'm sorry. I thought that was like a group chat we got going on.
No, but yeah.
Next week, Brad Jones of the Legion's Lair will be joining us. Probably talking about something Ohio. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But yes, next week with Brad, we've got 3 weekends left until Legion's Con.
Crazy.
How many shows do we have until Legion's Con?
3.
Is it 3? So we got next week, the week after. Yeah, 3. So we've got some.
But we are going to do a Saturday show at one point, so we'll have one extra.
Yes.
But yeah,
we'll have
Sunday shows.
3 regular Sunday shows, and then a special between now and Legion's Con. So thank you again all for being here. We'll see you next time. And until next time,
what's on your shelf?